On Mixing Night, it's Pro Mixers Roundtable with Ken Lewis, featuring Pro Mixers Bainz, Teezio, Bob Horn, Preston Prizzie Reid, and owner of Natural Audio, mastering engineer Andrew Rynhard. Join us as we discuss mixing and mastering, plugins, career paths, and more. Ask the Roundtable a question live on the chat roll. Tonight we launch a remix contest featuring the COBURN song Super Ugly, with prizes from Joey Sturgis Tones. There are 6 live giveaways tonight, including 2 copies of Natural Audio AL1 limiter, 2 tickets to Mixnick 26 in Atlanta this summer, and 2 copies of Session Studio, the software used by Ken and COBURN. You must be live to enter, not to win, and we give you a special tour of the Cincinnati organ man Ron Waymeyer's music room. Fire up your studio, tap in a friend, it's Mixing Night. Welcome to Mixing Night. I am your host, Ken Lewis, here with Mazzy, the amazing studio mascot. Yeah, that's you, baby girl. Tonight's Pro Mixers Roundtable is a who's who of hit makers. It's blowing my mind who we got all tonight. You saw who it is in the intro, so you know. So many hits between us. It's going to be a great conversation tonight. The giveaways, we have gone crazy. 6 winners will be picked tonight. You must be live to enter, not to win. Enter in the show description of the video you are watching right now. First giveaway is in about 15 minutes. We're not going to interrupt the conversation for the giveaways. It's just going to, we'll let you know on screen. I have a health update for you guys. If you've been tuning in, you know I have cancer surgery coming up next Tuesday. I have a little basal cell carcinoma right here. It's kind of in a bad spot, but it's hopefully very small. So send me some good vibes. I will take them all, and I really appreciate you. You know, honestly, this community is just really awesome, and I appreciate you all. My surgeries should be small. They might not be. I think I'll get out of this easy, though. Tonight we have a remix contest. All of the Mixing Night OGs have been asking me to bring back the beat contest. Man, okay, I finally did it. So we are back, baby. Artist and friend of the show, COBURN, has served up her single Super Ugly to be remixed by you all. Joey Sturgis Tones is sponsoring with a ton of killer plugins for the winner. Entry deadline is June 1st, 2 days before the June show on June 3rd. You can download the stems in the YouTube description of the video you are watching right now if you're live. Well, actually, no, anybody can get it. And the remix rules are in the zip. Please read the remix rules. Simple stuff. I got to talk a moment about our incredible new delay plugin, CASCADE. Listen up. If you are a professor or teacher of an audio program, professor or teacher, please reach out to me. My email is ken@kenlewis.com. Yeah, I know. That's super hard to remember. ken@kenlewis.com. I will get you and all of your fellow instructors, as well as all of your school systems, as many NFRs of Cascade as you need. Teachers, please reach out. I've gotten Cascade into a lot of audio programs so far. I just talked to Dark Horse Institute last week, Dave Hagen down there. If you're not following Dave Hagen on TikTok, man, you're missing out. He's great. But Dark Horse just adopted it. UNLV's on board. And I've just been getting the best feedback. And I'll show you in a bit why it's such an amazing teaching tool. I know, right? I don't know what's gotten into her. So, no sprint tonight. Hey, you. I might. It's a little. She's a treat hound. She's never like this, except for Mixing Night. Okay. Anyway, Marcus Manderson is going to give you guys the best list of free plugins you ever saw in your life. We're already running behind schedule. The Pro Mixers Roundtable tonight is bananas. And drop your questions on the chat roll. Who's on the chat roll tonight? I got to shout you guys out. Ains Boogie, Ben Ellery, 777, Mrs. May Blue. What's up, May? Congrats on your album release. Nora Hayden. Nora, the Beat Challenge is back, baby. The Real Shakur, Natural 9747, Josh S, 10%. Mr. Seller Pop? I like that. Okay. Who else we got? Danny. What's up, Danny Mo? Hey, hush it. Chris Edelman. Hey. Who else we got here? I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Bob Horn Mixing. I don't know who that guy is. The fingers on the beat. Oh, your segment's coming up in a few minutes, buddy. Siren Audio, good to see everybody. If I don't get started with this amazing Cascade demonstration, then I'm not going to get to it because we got to do the remix contest as well quickly. Okay. All right, baby girl. So I want to show you guys the incredible power of the randomizer. Oh, thank you. I want to show you guys the incredible power of the randomizer on this thing. When you, first off, let's just look at this thing when it instantiates as a teaching tool. Tell me that this doesn't have every single thing that you want to see and nothing else. And then when you actually want to see some serious horsepower, you can go into Cascade and Advanced mode. I'll keep those active so you can see all of what the randomizer is doing. But this is Anushka Sen. This is her new single, The Owl and the Bee. This is just verse 2. Coming out, I think, May 15th. I'm super excited about this song. We wrote this together. I'm just such a fan of this song. Let's hear the delay.
Remember home, embrace the world. When you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything beautiful. Become someone incredible. Your story, open up and write the page this morning. Don't you wait another day. The way you are is right where you should be. Remember home, embrace the world. And when you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything beautiful. Become someone incredible. Your story, open up and write the page this morning. Don't you wait another day. The way you are is right where you should be. Remember home, embrace the world. And when you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything beautiful. Become someone incredible. Your story, open up and write the page this morning. Don't you wait another day. The way you are is right where you should be. Remember home, embrace the world. And when you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything beautiful. Become someone incredible. Your story, open up and write the page this morning. Don't you wait another day. The way you are is right where you should be. Remember home, embrace the world. And when
So I don't know if you're as blown away by a few of those settings as I am, but I'd say every fourth or fifth one, I'm just like, what is that? I would have never dialed that in with a delay. And then I start looking at what's happening, and we've got like formant happening, and we've got an LFO, which is kind of like a sidechain pumper that you can set for different types of side chains. And the swing function isn't, swing and ducking don't get affected by that. But when you go into Cascade mode, everything changes. You have a ton more control. All of this stuff is automatable. All of the different style choices. It's ridiculous what this thing does. So it goes from like the simplest, most musical delay you could possibly want to like the holy shit, I can't believe this is doing this. And that's Cascade. So if you're a teacher of any audio program, reach out. Mazzy says reach out. Ken Lewis. Let me open the door for that girl. Hey. Jailbreak. So, all right, let me put this away. Let me just hide it. I can get rid of that. I want to go to COBURN. How best to play this, guy? Should I just play it on Spotify? Yeah. Spotify. So if you followed the show at all, you know who COBURN is, and you know how incredibly exceptional she is. Here she is, artist COBURN. Super Ugly. So this song is called Super Ugly. It was the first single on her whole. The album is finished. She's waterfalling it, and the full album's going to come out soon. To-do list drops May 20, maybe, very soon. Next single is To-do list, banger. Perfect timing. So this is Super Ugly. I'm going to play you a little bit of it. It's almost a 4-minute song, and it's got a lot of different sections. When you remix this, you don't have to remix the entire song. That's a lot of work, and we don't have time for that. If you do, then this song is for you, man. There's 8 different stems, so you can really dig into it. You can pick a section of this song, or the intro to the end of the first chorus, and just do a remix of that and just have fun with it. But use something from the original stems, make it something identifiable, but it doesn't have to sound at all like Super Ugly. So enjoy it, have fun, do whatever you want. Me and Coburn are going to pick the winners. The rules and regulations are in the zip. You can download the zip in the description of the video you are watching right now. Go get it. It is definitely, I would just download the stems just so you can hear, George Lever was the music, the instrumental producer, and he mixed it. Amazing. And I produced the vocals, and Coburn mostly wrote it. I had a little bit of writing on it. And let's hear it.
Picked on like a daisy. Problem child, where's my tough foot body? Serve me vile is the a wolf in wolf clothing. Make my shape super ugly, super ugly, super ugly. Rearrange super ugly, super ugly. Paint me straight.
So that is Super Ugly. You're going to have a blast remixing that. Let us go to Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, and we're going to be back with the full roundtable of pro mixers. I'll see you soon.
What's good, Mixing Night family? This is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, back with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment. In this Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment, I have a bunch of free stuff to share with you. Before we get into that, be sure to share any advice as I am preparing a big family move. I haven't even told my job. I'm at work right now. I haven't told my job. We are moving from Virginia to Atlanta over the next few months, making the leap of faith because our daughter is at Spelman. She's a sophomore finishing up her sophomore year, and our son will be a freshman at Morehouse in the fall. He just got into Morehouse, so family blessings on the way. So thank you for the support in this community. Looking forward to going down there and diving in on music full time. All right, let's get into the free plugins that you can check out. We have first Referee, which sounds like a weird way for Scooby-Doo to say the word Jeffrey, but Referee, a reference plugin that you can check out. We also have Deform from Ebb and Flow, which is like a modular synth. Then we have Moonverb, a reverb that you can check out from deadloop.fr. Then we have a fresh start for our plugins from Mannix. This is a plugin bundle that you can download for free from Mannix Squared. Then we have DAW Junkie with a free knobs effect processor, the Happy Accident. You have no idea what these knobs are doing. Then we have Desert Audio Polyfreak analog modeled synth. Then we have CRQL. I have no idea what that means. The frequency domain phaser from them for free. You can buy it for $0. We have a hybrid filter from Minimal Audio that you can check out. We also have Cosmic Audio Cosmic Suite, a one knob effects bundle. You can see some of the effects there. Then we have an iOS app that you can download, and you can drag your audio from your phone to your DAW. It currently works with Logic and Ableton, so check that out, a free plugin. We have an acoustic DIY room simulation, so check out Room DIY from Audio FB. We also have the Deer, the Fox, and the Guitar, a free nylon guitar from Wavelet Audio. Check that out, all for free. Then we have the Saint Mike DSP Pitch Cure Vocal Pitch Corrector. So if you want a free vocal pitch correction, check that out. Then we have Westwood Roots. This is a free series from the Westwood team. The latest freebie in that series is the Tempest Brass, but check out the whole series and check out Tempest Brass, which is out now. Then we have Deviant Drums, or Deviant Drums, I think it's Deviant Drums, from the Chaos Stones or Chaos Tones company. Then we have a free plugin, limited free sounds, Orbit, Griffin from Audio Plugin Deals. I believe this is only free till May 7th, so get this ASAP. Then we have the Salin Audio Clarity that adapts to your performance. It's a free adaptive layer, so check that out. We also have Flame Sound giving us free human voices. I believe they are ethically recorded human voices. We have Techovation Tilt EQ free from the Techovation team. So you can use this until you save up to get my favorite Tilt EQ, which happens to be in the ALLCOMP or LOLCOMP plugin. Then you can also get the Filters LE from the MNTRA mantra.io. We also have Retro Radio from Stone Voices. You can check that out. And we have Venus Theory giving us a freebie in Forms Tongues. This is free for the Decent Sampler, which is another free instrument plugin to house instruments that you can download for free as well. Next, we have the Wide Space and Depth tool from Shadaloo Audio DSP. Then we have Temecula DSP giving us a free MDV2 and the MCV1 digital effects processor. You have a bunch of effects built in there. Check that out. Then we have Filter by Cloudy Samples, which is a free filter from Cloudy Samples. And finally, a couple of special notes before I end this segment for this month. We are doing a writing camp in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Austin. I've done panels for South by Southwest the last couple of years out there. It's a great city, a great place, great food, great people. We're doing a writing camp for HBM Music, which does all the music for Temptation Island. We have a lot of music that placed on this last season. I did the theme song for this last season as well. So if you are interested in sync, you're interested in doing a writing camp, being actively involved in a company that is actively placing music on shows, check out the Level Up Music Productions Writing Camp in Austin, Texas, June 26th and June 27th. Shoot me a DM if you're interested for the details. And also, a freebie before I end this, another freebie, a free trailer music course. I may have shared this before, but I want to reiterate it for our newcomers to the community. This is a free course that you can check out from the Trailer Music Academy. You can also donate to them. It is a great course to learn about trailer music, and then you can use that, and then you can add the knowledge that you get from our friend Michael Moss, the Trailer Music Boss, who also has a trailer course that you can check out, and put all this information together to build your trailer music journey, which is what I've been doing the last couple of years. And of course, all the links and plugins mentioned in this segment will be included in this list. Shoot me a DM if you want access to this list. And this is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Meta Mystery, with another Mixing Night Meta Mystery moment. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right, peace.
Hey, can you guys hear me? So it is Pro Mixers Roundtable night. This live stuff is a fun time. And I am joined by an absolute who's who of people whose work you hear on a very regular basis. I will let them introduce themselves, but we have Teezio, Bainz, Bob Horn, Preston, Prizzie, Reid, and Andrew Rynhard. Is Andrew with us? And it's just going to be a fantastic conversation. I can see the chat roll, and I'm getting fed questions. I have people monitoring the chat roll, and so I can feed questions to the panel. So without further ado, let's start the roundtable. What's up, fellas?
You're doing.
How's it going?
Oh, everything is super great. So I'm having like the best mix week of my life in K-pop land. I have like 3 singles coming out all within 2 weeks. That shit has never happened to me. So
Very nice.
Good, excellent timing for the Pro Mixers Roundtable. I hope the same success comes back to America soon, but I'll take it in K-pop land. What can you guys go around and introduce yourselves and kind of tell us, you know, a little bit about you and some of your best work? Bob?
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. My name is Bob Horn. I'm a mix engineer out of Los Angeles, and started out doing a lot of R&B and hip hop stuff, like Neo, Usher, Timbaland, and I was Michael Jackson's one of his last engineers before he passed away. And after that, the next decade, I got more into pop stuff. Done a bunch of K-pop. Been on some albums with Ken, BTS, and been Twice, and recently a couple new K-pop groups and some Chinese pop stuff like Jackson Wang. And I just love mixing. I'm also a musician. Do a little producing occasionally and some writing. When I feel like I can do something good. But it's me.
Very cool. Bainz,
What's
tell them
up,
about yourself.
What's up, Ken? How's it going, guys? My name is Bainz. I'm a mixer and engineer based out of Los Angeles right now, between Los Angeles and Miami. I work primarily in the hip hop R&B space, but kind of do everything. Apart from mixing, I also run a studio where Young Thug has been for the past 7, 8 years. So I'm his full-time engineer as well. Some of the other things I've done in the past year is I did a Lil Baby's album. I did a bunch of stuff in Cardi B's album. I've done everything Big X the Plug so far. And I'm actually working on this really dope album. Can't really say what it is yet, but it's about to drop in a week. It's a collab project, so that's what I've been slammed with recently.
And you're a New York hip hop engineer.
Yeah. Started out in New York, exactly.
Fucking A. Gotta love those New York engineers, man.
That New York grind, man.
Teezio, let them know, man.
What's up, guys? I'm Teezio. I'm a mixing engineer, formerly and now retired recording engineer.
Hey.
As you guys know, I had my first big break coming out of with Chris Brown, 2016. And yeah, we have an album dropping tomorrow. Been working on a lot of K-pop as well, which I think would be a really great thing to talk about on this and how it's different. And yeah, just working on a bunch of projects, working on a lot of artists that are like developmental at labels. I feel like after the whole TikTok boom, people kind of labels started developing artists again. So there's a ton of groups that I've been working with in the R&B space. So it's been fun.
Very nice. Prizzie,
Here.
let them know,
What's up,
man.
everybody? This is Preston Reid. Some call me Prizzie for some odd reason. And I mix records, push a few buttons. I come from the Chief Keef era, Chicago. I moved down to Atlanta. Been working on some cool stuff by way of started off with Tricky Stewart, was his engineer with Dream and that whole regime. Mixed some cool stuff. Money Long, Usher, Omalay, Tyler, a bunch of stuff. And yeah, I do some K-pop as well. Did some P1 Harmony, worked with Jimin. I don't even know how to say his name, to be honest. Taemin, a few other people like that. And yeah, man, just happy to be here. Kick it with the guys.
Very cool to have you, man. Andrew Rynhard from Natural Audio.
Yeah, obviously, I'm probably the odd man out here. There's
all,
obviously some big
Not at
hitters
all,
here,
man.
but my music experience goes all the way back to when I was very young, living in the Bay Area, producing for Bay Area rap artists. Now I find myself in Austin, Texas, doing mastering work I could obviously master anything, but since I'm in Texas and Austin, I get a lot of country music that comes my way. And so I've learned to appreciate it, and I don't mind it as much anymore. So, but yeah, other than that, I dabble in a little bit of plug-in making for my purposes and needs of whatever it is that I do with audio.
It's the same reason I design plugins. I'm like, I'm going to selfishly design this plugin to be exactly what I want. And I'm pretty sure if I nail it, everybody else will like it too.
Best way to do it.
You're the best customer because you know exactly what you want,
Yeah, it's like, how do I solve all of my problems that I've seen hundreds of times? How about this one? So,
Yep.
Yeah, that's been why Natural Audio? Why the AL1?
I mean, obviously in the mastering world, the limiter is super important. And, I spent years building up an analog chain, and I'm just like, okay, I got technically the best compressors, the best this and that. I'm not saying you need that by any stretch. I'm actually selling it all now. But at the end of the day, it was like, okay, I like everything that's happening, except the limiter is always a choice of compromise. It's always like, which one is doing the least damage and which one do I hate the least out of all of them. So I have 20 years of programming as well. I have founded another software company as well, and I just finally decided to put my music experience and my software experience into one and just say, I'm just going to create what I want to hear. Same for you, Ken. I mean, you're just like, I just simply want to build it for myself. And then slowly through the grapevine, people are like, yeah, Preston uses it. Oh, really? Okay, let me talk to him. Teezio's using it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
Bainz,
just use
wow.
it. I just used it on a mix the other day.
Yeah. So
Actually, I think we're still in revisions, so it's getting close to the finish line. But yeah, it's
Cool.
I've been using it regular as well. Teezio, you mentioned K-pop. I would love to chop it up about K-pop.
Yeah. So there's something that I feel like we would understand that's like one of the massive differences as far as like mixing the record, right? There's obviously differences in business and those types of things as well. But the main difference, and I think all of us can agree, is this. When we work on a song here, right? So I work with a rapper, they send me the session, right? Typically, the session has all the plugins that they used, right? Everything is there, so we can use it if we want, take it off if we don't want, or see what's viable, what's not. Or we can also just look at it. Oh, the EQ, they're cutting here. Let me do it with my EQ. So we have the session, we have the sound is there, right? What happens with K-pop, I would say 98% of the time, is they get a song from a writer. Typically, it'll be a US writer. And the song will be in English, and it'll be a demo in English with tons of effects, reverbs, distortions, all these things, right? Now, when they say, okay, we're going to take this song, they record the song, but they never, ever on their end of things ever apply any of these effects, right? So what happens is this. They record the vocals, they're raw, right? They might have like some verb or something just for the recording process, but it's raw vocals that are tuned correctly. And they send you the demo from the writer, which is this affected demo from the writer, right? And then they send you the dry monitor, they call it, which is essentially a balance of their recordings, which are raw. And then you have to use your ears. That's why it's the most difficult to mix for K-pop if you don't know how to mix, because you have to by ear try to copy or get as close as possible to what this English demo is. Now, there's been times in the past where they were like, there was recently one where they were using a specific type of distortion on the vocal. You know, when the vocal's just like distorted, it was a very specific one that just had a certain feeling to it. And I said, look, I've tried different distortions. Like they all sound good, but they don't feel like this demo that you have, right? So I said, hey, can I give you all the leads? Can you just have the writer from America, essentially, or whoever wrote it, run the vocals, the raw vocal just through that distortion and then send it to me? That way we're at least, because the thing with them is like, they want it to sound like the demo. That's why they chose the demo, right? So like if you give them a different distortion, a different reverb, a different delay, everything starts to stack up being different. All of a sudden we're miles away from the demo, right? And it's not to say like what you're doing is wrong. It's just they fell in love with this, right? So we always have to cater to that. And I think it's just that much different because in the US, it's like, I don't need to ask for any of the effects. They're all in the session. I can take it off, leave it on, whatever I want. We don't have that luxury with K-pop. We have to do it here.
I've never had that with BTS. Not once that I can ever remember.
I was
And
going to
I've
say,
done
I
before.
didn't
But
know
all-
that was happening to other guys. Like I have that English demo thing with some of the people I work with too. I thought I was the only one.
No. You got to reverse engineer the demo.
You have to reverse engineer the demo.
Yeah.
It's like when it's a demo, like you don't have an acapella. It's just a slammed bounce.
Yep.
So you're kind of guiding, like, okay, it sounds like there's this much reverb. It sounds like it's a plate, you know?
The end mix crescendo that I just did, I just went through this. Same exact thing. And, you know, they just love certain things about the demo that were like really distorting.
Yeah, I got a question about K-pop.
Pull the distortion out and fix it and still make it sound that way. Yeah.
Ken, I got a question about K-pop. Do y'all feel like in K-pop they're not really big on low end?
It depends.
Like you find yourself having to like
not with my mixes.
Yeah, I'm sought out for a low end specifically.
Really?
So I don't get certain K-pop gigs because I have too much, but then the other guys will call me specifically because I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've gotten rap K-pop gigs and they're like, it's the same shit. It's like that's why they've come to me, because there's 808s and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. In my experience, K-pop, the Koreans have always come to me because they want an American sound. They want your sound.
Right. And that's what it usually is. For all of us, right? Like
They'll be a fan
I
of a
get more of,
particular record. They'll be like, oh,
yeah.
I like the sound of that record. They'll find out who did it, and then they'll be like, oh, we're a fan. We like this and that. That's kind of how it always
Right. So
happens.
the rappers go to Bainz because they're like, oh, he does Young Thug shit. And then like I get like an hyphen, which is basically singers. Or I mean, I would consider it to be like their version of like R&B mixed with like low end production. You know what I mean? But it's just funny because a regular mixing engineer would die if they didn't have like literally you get raw vocals and you get a demo and you just have to listen to it and try to get as close as possible.
Yeah.
This is where my history comes in really fucking handy because I was Kanye's figure it out guy for 15 years. So whatever crazy idea Kanye had, whatever it sounded like, I was the one that had to just figure it out.
Right.
And so I've been reverse engineering shit like for forever and a day, and it's remarkable how handy that comes in on just regular mixes.
I,
I'm super lucky in that way.
I think a lot of that still comes from being a tracking engineer. Like if somebody
Yeah,
just
that
comes out
helps
the blue
too.
and just decides I'm a mixer, it's
Yeah.
like recording, you got to solve problems on the fly with somebody standing over your shoulder. So that ability is priceless.
I've never understood how people do it. How like people like even my assistant when he first came to me, he was like, "Yeah, I want to be a mixer." I was like, That's not that you have to be you have to be an engineer first, and that's how you graduate. You learn that shit." And I forced him to be a tracking engineer for a while and work in the studio and stuff. You like the shit you learn while tracking, it 100% applies while mixing.
But
Like
I
you
think
learn way more shit.
even being able to look at a mixing session, like when I get a session from an artist, like being able to look at it and understand where things went wrong in the studio because I have the experience, right? So I can look at a session and be like, this guy did not know what he was doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or I
Just
see
by
why he
looking
did
at it.
this. I see why he did this in a rush. Let me do it in a
Exactly.
better way.
Exactly. So we are able to identify things that if you didn't have the experience of being in the studio, you look at a session and be like, oh, this is wrong. It's like, well, you don't understand that like these things happen in the studio and
Plus,
sometimes
how to interact with the clients. You learn all
Yeah,
that shit, like how to
that's
look.
another thing is how to
That's the biggest
interact.
thing. Yeah.
exactly.
I love this. I'm having a blast.
We got
I
to
don't know
start
about
answering the
you
real
guys.
questions, the real world
I was all
questions.
tired. Now I'm riled up.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We got 'em
know.
going.
Let's fucking go.
Let's do
Let's
it.
see. Do I have any questions from the Mixing Night community? Man, the chat roll is popping right now. Stephen Ramos, can any of the guys talk about the business setting rates and all of that? Uh, we don't need to know numbers, but your point of view would be amazing. So, in practice, how do you set your rates if you want to talk about it or not?
I think after like it just depends. Like you kind of have to be flexible these days. Um, Two, it depends label versus like how what you're in with the label. And I think at a certain point, if they come to you, you can just add. Like I base it on what I did with the last thing with the label. But every year or every like big album I have that after this album I can go up by say $500 or say like it's small increments, but you just kind of get to that till you're at like that number that you're happy to live at. Which I think the number I'm personally at right now, I'm happy to live at for a bit. It's a good number for me anymore. And then I don't know where there's room. Then they might as well go to the the top three names that
Yeah.
what
I would
else.
say it's credits, experience, and relationship. Those three things really determine what your rate is. And it's not just like the rate sits on a counter and everybody can see it. It just depends on who you're dealing with. It depends on the context. And it depends on the trajectory you're trying to go with that. You might be working with a major label and they have five of the biggest artists in the world, but the A&R is, dealing with all five of them. You might make some compromises just to make sure you're in with who you need to be in with. It just depends. It's so hard to just have like a cut and dry answer.
Right.
What I will say about the rate stuff is a lot of times I sometimes will leverage an opportunity, right? So Prizzie's talking about an A&R who has 5 artists at a label, right? So it's like they might have 5 artists, 2 of them are massive and 3 of them are like new signees, right? So the A&R might come to me and be like, bro, I'll lock you in for this rate. I really need help with these, 3 other artists. Like, can you maybe give me a deal on those, and I'll just make sure you're taken care of on these. And so there's always a way, even if you don't think you're getting your way with the fee, there's always a way to leverage it into something else. So the A&R might come to you and say, I only have this much. It's like, okay, well, look, I'll do it for you for that much, but I know you also A&R for these artists. Do you think I can get a spec mix at least? Right? So learn to leverage what you might find to be a bad deal to kind of be in your way. It's like a lot of this shit is not just cut and dry. There's a lot of gray area that we can move around in, and they'll appreciate it too, because if you're taking care of their smaller artists and they're putting you on the bigger artists, like everyone's happy, right?
Also, now I'm at a point where there's like, sorry, go ahead.
I would just add that I think the absolute best way to figure out what you want is to take your shoes off and walk a mile in the person's shoes that you want to do business with, and just ask yourself why, what do they want? What do they want from me? What can I give to them? What am I willing to give up to get this work? What am I not willing to give up to get this work? Now let me go talk to them. And so if you know where your red lines are and you know what your potential A, B, C, D strategies are before you get on that phone, then you have a much better chance at getting to a finish line that everybody likes, and you have a much better chance at avoiding a finish line that you're going to regret.
I also feel if
two things I wanted to add to that. There's other ways you can leverage things too. Like recently, there's a couple of like our Teezio was saying, there's a lot of development, there's a lot of new development happening. So with this artist where I like the music, but they don't have the budget, I've started doubling up. So I get 2 points now. And I'll take the lower rate. But if I like the project, I'm like, okay, I want 2 points on the back end, and I want the Atmos guaranteed and all that stuff. So there's stuff you can, like, you just got to negotiate and work. That's one thing. And the second thing I would definitely say is, whenever you can get to a point, I did this very earlier on, because I personally hate talking numbers and figures with management, because I'm the creative person. So if you can put someone in between you and the client that handles finances and financial talk and negotiates on your behalf, they will always be able to negotiate a higher rate for you, and it'll make the management fee that you have to eat worth it in the long run.
Yep. Let Bob jump in. Bob was about to say something.
Part of what I was going to say is the point thing that Teezio just made, but also I feel like if you have a long run of getting your ideal rate or close to it, just fluctuating a tiny bit, the more you might feel, at least for me, where you can be firm on the rate. And then if things slow down for an extended period of time, then you kind of slide up and down a little more and be a little more flexible, especially when you're mixing indies with majors. It's like you might get firm on your rate if you've gotten it every day for 3 months, and then some indies come in and you just turn them down because it's not a career builder and they're not doing your ideal rate that you've been getting for 70 days in a row, So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Sound Better, and I treat Sound Better exactly like that. It's like, if I need more work, rate goes down. If the work is coming in strong, rate goes up.
Yeah, other countries too, like some places in Africa, I actually get more in Asia than America, but it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Bob.
Yeah,
we all do.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. I got a great question from WTL Mix Academy. He says, "Hey guys, what are some ways to stop mixing with your eyes?"
You
come up as a tracking engineer as well.
Close them. I don't know.
I know someone that did something that pissed me off because I love having the screen. They would always do this thing with the screen. Bainz, remember Mike would do that?
It's a CASCADE thing.
CASCADE does it too. So basically when they're mixing and they don't want to pay attention to the screen, they had the setting on their Mac where they would swipe because they used
go in that bottom corner.
It would swipe or something.
I got that on mine
It would
too.
go to the screensaver.
I got that on mine.
Yeah, that was a Mike Miller thing. Yeah.
I think that's the best way. The best, easiest way is just to close your eyes. And I think closing your eyes actually does something extra than just turning the Pro Tools so you can't see Pro Tools. I think closing your eyes makes it so like when you have you're not looking at anything, right? Your vision is just out. It almost enhances your hearing more than just swiping away from Pro Tools because you're still looking at the speakers and you're still looking. So I think closing your eyes is the best way.
I think walking around the room also
I was
sometimes.
gonna say that, like getting up and walking around. I'm a pacer, so I look
Yeah.
psychotic when I'm mixing. Like when I get towards the end, I start walking around. You see me all over the place, but I just want to hear how it feels in another room. I want to feel like, all right, there's a party happening in that room, and I want to join it. Like that's the feeling I want when I'm mixing.
You
I
can
also give it
also,
the out the door listen.
Yeah.
yeah. You can also use like take a break from using Fab Filter every day on every channel and use like some SSL channel strips just for practice, like, or if you dig them, use them for real. But like just to use
Yeah.
knob EQs rather than EQs where you see the spectrum analyzer and you're looking at the line, because when you pull that line down and you see 3 dB and it's like it looks like it's too much, but maybe it's not even enough. You just we definitely hear with our eyes, sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of things that just naturally promote that workflow. Another strategy that I like to use, and I'm going to preface this, I'm from a mastering point of view, but I'm pretty sure it applies to mixing. I will like physically look at where I want to see things in the stereo field, and you'll be surprised at how you notice things differently. Like if you look down, the bass suddenly, like you could see it, you can visually see it. So like you could use your eyes in another way, just not try, like to Bob's point, you're pulling down 3 dB and you're like, oh, that's a lot, that's 3 dB. Sometimes I'm cranking 6 dB on something, even in a master. It's like it feels good though. But when you go and look at your stereo image, like just avoiding your screen and just trying to like look at the canvas that you're painting, you can kind of like look side to side and like still get that visual thing, but it's totally connected to your auditory system rather than like this digital EQ feedback thing going on.
You
I
can
think it's
also
super important.
get older. You can get older and let your eyes go bad, and then you're not seeing it anyways.
Just take your glasses off. You don't see shit.
I just built a triple projection wall to get my mind off of the screen in front of me. So
Bro, I got
I
this.
just immerse
It's like
myself
Nerf
like
ball.
on my beach or some AI shit, and that really gets my brain off of technical mode.
What was that ball, Prizzie?
Bro, I got this Nerf ball. I'll be dribbling this around. It's
Oh,
like
nice.
sensory deprivation. Like I just want to take my mind off what I'm doing. I mean, it's sometimes a stress ball. Depends on the client. If they're pissing me off, I had a punching bag down here at one point, but another conversation.
Let's see. See if we got any more questions here. What time is it? When do we have to? No, we still got time. At the top of the hour, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and I'm going to do a segment on the Cincinnati Organ Man. This guy, I just did the craziest session of my life a couple weeks ago at this private residence, the estate of a guy who built pipe organs for 61 years. And he had a one-of-one pipe organ built in his own house. And he had like 10 pianos in the same room and a harp, and it was the craziest shit. Wait till you see this video. It's just mind-blowing. But I just thought that was like one of the most unique session experiences that I've ever had, and I was wondering what some of the most unique session experiences you guys have ever had.
That's a good segue. I think for me was Donda, like in the stadium. That was, I don't think anything will ever top that. Like that was just a crazy time.
Man. Bob, Bainz?
A couple come to mind. Flo and me went on a trip to Jamaica a couple of years ago, like 5, 6 years ago, to record an album. That was really good. And then more recently, last year, I went to Miraval in the south of France for a week. And
That
Wow,
place
how
was
was
crazy.
that?
that was pretty awesome, man. That was like just next level. It's you know, you
Wow.
live there, there's a chef, there's a spa, there's a gym, the studio is really nice. It's like it's a vibe. So that definitely I'd have to be like top ones that I could talk about.
Crazy. We got the other stuff off camera.
Who's
Yeah,
next?
I
It
got
gets
a
way
few
crazy.
of those as well. Like I spent a year and a half with Bloods and Crips in LA, and like the 30 biggest gangs that had first. And we did a year and a half for this project for Warner, and they were like turning the live room of Track Record into a club, and it got insane. But I got plenty of stories. I'd say technically, my craziest thing was 2 14-hour days where this band, like I think 13-piece band, did 3 performances of really long songs, and it ended up being 53 performances of 17 songs. So much that the conga player bled on the congas. His hands like split
Damn.
open.
God damn.
And
Crazy.
every input at Capitol Studio A was used plus 2 more. So 62 of, inputs were used. And this was far back enough, when I hit the space bar to record on Pro Tools, the beats ball would go for like 10 seconds before it actually dropped in to record, because every track was armed 60 inputs. It was crazy.
That's fun. What about you, Teezio?
I guess I got 1 or 2 of these vibes. I went to I used to work for a guy named Lewis Hamilton, who's a Formula One race car driver, and he was doing music for a few years, and he was basically flying me and like Boy Wonder and Vinyls and all these producers and writers to the races. And one year we went to Bahrain, and people don't know this, but Michael Jackson used to be really close friends with the King of Bahrain, or the Prince. And they have a studio that was built there specifically for him when he left the United States to like run away from all the shit that was happening in like the early 2000s. And he was there for like a year just hiding out in Bahrain. And so when we went there, the king let us essentially use the studio to record with Lewis. And it was basically like Michael Jackson's personal studio, and very few people had used it in between because it's like on the king's residence. But that was probably one of the craziest things. Like, as a recording engineer working, in San Fernando Valley, you would never find yourself like in a king's palace recording. So that was probably one of the craziest things that I'd ever done before.
That's crazy.
All right. What else we got? Do we want to talk about AI or not? I feel like we're all doomed by it, but we're all high enough level that it's not going to really affect us, but everybody coming up. Has anybody seen any of the AI mixing tools? Not like
oh my God, I saw one today that I literally wanted to leave that craziest comment, but I was like, I don't want to be that guy. But it was literally like this guy that's like, why use a mixer when you just take your files, put it in here, and then he's like, you just keep telling it what you want until it's right. Like, make the snare more like this, make this more like this. Like, you just prompt until you get
they'd rather pay OpenAI $1,000 to get the mix, but not someone else who will actually mix it.
And it made me so upset.
They won't get the mix.
You're just taking something that, in my opinion, like, mixing is like, even though we're mixing against the demo and we're trying to get close to the demo and all these things, these are thousands of moves that happen over something that, like, you start to pull those moves out, the image starts to fall apart. And I feel like it is an artwork in its own right. Even though we were working towards the demo, which is the official artwork from the artist, we're still doing our thing to get it to that place. And to just take that and be like, just drop your stems in here and then tell it what you want. Because I'm telling you right now, an artist can't even tell me what they want sometimes. An artist can't even tell
my point exactly.
They can't even communicate to the artist because they're talking about, my vocal needs to be more blue, more green. It's like, how the fuck are you going to talk to a machine that 9 times out of 10 spits out the wrong answer anyways? Because you have to prompt things a certain way. Like, if anyone here has tried to use AI in this way that you see people use it, prompting it to do the shit that you need it to do is not easy. You have to say things in a specific way and prompt in a certain way for it to be almost like exactly what you're thinking, right? So, in my opinion, I think it's just insane that if an artist can't even communicate notes to this happens all the time, by the way, and you guys know this. An artist's like, I don't know if I'm using the right terms, right? How many of you have heard
Literally.
that? I don't know if I'm using the right terms, but it feels like this. It's like, yeah, try saying that to a computer. I'm at least trying to use my.
The other thing is that they could prompt all day and they won't ever know what a finish line is.
Right, because
so they'll just accept something at some point. Like, whoa,
they just don't want to hear the word no. That's what
is this good enough? I think it's good enough. Yes, this is good enough. Whereas any of us would mix it and they'd be like, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like. Oh,
well, I think you touched on something important, Teezio. You use these 1,000 moves that accumulate over time, but I think ultimately you're making those moves to make something connect emotionally.
Right.
That's ultimately what this is about.
And it's tons of little puzzles. It's like doing a massive puzzle on a table. It's all the little pieces that make up the image. And
Yep.
those pieces and this is why I know it's art. Today, I was mixing a session and fucking auto-tune crashed that shit. So I did drums. I was getting to the bass, crashed. I didn't save, whatever, shoot me. So it goes back to like the kick and snare, right? So I'm like, I lost the hats and the drum loop. When I went to go remix those elements, I didn't EQ it exactly the same. And I remember, I was like, yeah,
You never
right?
will.
Because
It's a performance.
it's a painter. You could have the Mona Lisa painted by the same guy 100 times. None of those images will be identical to the other. It just won't. It'll look the same,
Yes.
but it'll never be identical. And it's the same thing with mixing. I'll mix the same song every day, and those mixes will never, ever sound perfectly nulled out identical. They'll sound similar because of the taste, but every move won't be the same. And that's what, to me, what makes it art is it's never the same. It can never be done twice.
Yep.
Facts.
I agree. In fact, I took that to and my clients hated it, so I reverted it. But I had analog. I have an all analog. Well, I still have it. Don't use it. Mastering chain, and I hated recall. If they got something new, I would just tell my client, like, look, the way I see it is, I mastered it that day like a performance. That's how I was feeling that day. That's how I was hearing it. This is what I got out of it. So I'm just gonna master it all over again. So don't expect it to sound similar. You change the kick slightly. That might make me want to do something different in the high end, ever so subtly different, So
But what if someone
it's a performance.
What if someone says we just muted one hat, like we just wanted to
Well,
have
that there are logical things.
Can we we can recall on that. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I was getting a little worried there. I was like,
I was getting a little worried. I was like,
what about for cleans and what about for revisions and what about
Exactly.
No, hold on.
It's a new
Yeah, what
master
about
every time.
cleans? What about he just remasters everything? No, I always tell the mastering, and that's another thing. As a mixer, when you send mastering a new version, I hate when people. This is what I hate. When they change something in the song, and instead of telling me, hey, we changed the second line in the second verse, you know what they say? We replaced a vocal, and they send me the whole session.
The whole
again. They don't
session,
tell
and
me
you got to
what the-
figure it out.
You got to,
Right.
no, I'm not figuring
Yeah,
it out. I'm
exactly.
going to ask you, what the
Yeah.
fuck did you change? So the same thing goes with me. When I go back to mastering after a change, I say, hey, we turned the snare down half a dB. Okay, so now he knows, do I need to remaster? Do I need to just recall?
Right.
I always communicate everything I do because that could lead someone to I could have replaced all the vocals and fuck shit up when it was just the second line of the second verse.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when they undo all of their like production decisions made with plugins and then just expect you to be like super sleuth and figure it all out, but make it even better.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Yo, people still do that.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh my God.
I haven't gotten that, and at least, well, no, that's not true. I got it like last month, but
I'll call him and I'll be like, yo, I know you distorted these purposely, but go and distort them again because I'm not explaining to the artist why the stems are cleaned up because you thought I could do it better, but I don't have that dirty clipper you use in the first place.
no,
they're
I mean
doing it
that's
in
a whole
FL.
conversation when people are trying to sabotage the session because they couldn't get the mix.
Oh yeah,
Bro, it's the worst.
yeah.
And you know what I do?
There's
You know
a
what
few.
I be telling the manager, yo, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, no, there's a few engineers that are notorious for this. Like I'd get sessions from a really, really big artist, I'm not gonna name him, and it would be a DMG compressed file. You unzip it, and it's literally audio tracks. They have removed auto-tune, they've removed
Bro,
everything.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, I need to figure out the auto-tune too.
That's
bro.
whack.
So
Yeah.
my trick for that, because that's happened like 3 times this year for me. My new trick is I contact whoever is hiring me and I say I'm not mixing this until it comes to me sounding like the rough.
Yeah.
I will deadass have my assistant send them the bounce. I'm like, hey, before you prep it, bounce it, send it to them and say, you listen to it.
Yeah.
If this sounds the same, then I will mix it from here. And every time they're like, all right, let me go find who recorded it.
Bro, exactly. They think, oh, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy.
That's some hater shit.
Yeah, because then the artist thinks we fucked up. The artist thinks we fucked up the mix, and it's like, bro, this guy literally.
Exactly.
Technical segue. So I've been doing revisions all fucking week. And it's like me and the mastering engineer, we have this thing where like Laporta like hear my shit and he'll make small revisions, and I kind of had to push things further than I would because when the artists and all came in, they were like kick louder, bass louder, and like all these things, which it's hard to do, you know, when there's like 5 people in the room and producers throwing things at you, setting more them. So like kind of hit headroom, and I was doing revisions, and I have this kind of fail safe on my
mixing, which it's my drum bus. There's always a limiter on there doing nothing. Like it's literally just to handle the peaks and shit. And I've swapped out like my main limiter for the AL1 and stuff, and like that one is just, it's been a Pro L2 because it's low latency. It's just always been there, and it's not really doing anything. It's at 0. So when I was doing revisions, a quick swap I did, I was like, yo, I've never even thought to do this, but I started swapping that out. And it was weird for some of, because of where it is in the session, it has to be low latency. So it can't add any latency. So like for some of them, the preview worked. For some of them, the regular one worked. Some of them I could oversample, some I couldn't. But just doing that, all the drums got so much punchier, and it was exactly what we needed. Like it was crazy. It was like that's just one little fix, and I was like, wow. And like I hate that I've admitted it, that I have a limiter there, because I shouldn't have a limiter there. But it's literally a fail safe that's been there for years just to help, when I get a bit aggressive. And just doing that, the transients came through so much. And Andrew, I was actually gonna call and tell you that like me and Joe had this crazy conversation. I was like, dude, I've figured it out. Everything's gotten punchier with like a limiter that's not doing anything. So I like just had to put that out there because it just happened yesterday.
Hey,
Sweet. I'd love to hear more about it offline.
no, we talk about it online. People need to hear it. Preach the gospel.
Yeah, I was like, no, we gotta talk. We gotta throw some technical shit in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's dial up the nerd shit.
I
Anybody-
want to say some bullshit I endured yesterday. So there's this group that I'm working with, and they have the producer's an idiot. Lost a Session has a 2-track, right? And the 2-track is distorted. The 2-track instrumental they recorded to, right? So I told them, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to. I was like, normally I would try to use the 2-track, but it's so blown out, it's not even worth using. The co-producer, which is why I was extremely scared. The co-producer called me. He's like, can't you just turn it down?
Oh,
And you know what I did? I was on the phone and I was just going like this. Like, obviously I can't turn it like I don't if you understand signal flow, but he wanted me to turn the beat down to make it not distort. And I was like, bro, this guy's really an idiot. And he's a producer.
I thought he was gonna hit you with just use the stem splitter.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's
man.
the thing. This is where he tried to get over. He sent the 2-track. I told the manager, I was like, look, it's a 2-track. We're not going to be like Atmos is going to be whack, whatever. He's like, all right, no, we can't do it anymore. So he calls the producer. The producer is like, I found the stems. He sent me AI splitted just drum, bass, and music.
God.
And I
found
called the
stems is
manager
crazy.
and I was like, he just AI split it. He's like, no, he said he found the stems. And I was like, dude, this guy's robbing you guys blind right now. He's literally, you don't think I can look at this shit and tell you right away it's fucking AI? Like it's ridiculous. The guy was trying to get over on them, and we ended up not using the song because they didn't want to use it without stems because they have to perform it. They have, like, it's not just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can't just be a 2-track.
It's a compounding issue.
Yeah.
Right.
He cost himself a placement.
He cost himself a
Exactly.
placement.
When did 2-tracks become popular? I remember when I was producing in the Bay Area, recording
Man,
artists.
it's hard to get stems, man.
When
Sometimes
when it became too easy to make fucking music is when it happened.
Yeah,
I shouldn't
I
be
remember
making
back in
music.
the
Started
day,
making music.
You everything had its own track. That's just and if you didn't have it that way, then
I feel like the laptop era, so like 2008 when soft synths started becoming popular.
Yeah.
You know,
And people
Yeah.
realized they could bounce and then upload this to Spotify, or not Spotify, sorry, to SoundCloud.
SoundCloud
Or YouTube or whatever. It became, and it became like this. There was a music business where everything got mixed, everything had stems. Then when it became accessible to the average person to be in their bedroom, they had no money to pay for a mixer. So that's when they started to push out unmixed music, stuff that just came out with laptops.
Real world situations, though. In a real world situation, so okay, all of us,
Now it's spilled into it, especially in the rap.
We've spoken about tracking. We've spoken about all this. We know about file management and backup. You can ask me for a session from 10 years ago and I'll have it.
Yeah.
These guys, they have a laptop with Fruity, a Windows computer. Now that's going to crash. I'm dealing with some shit where I've just gotten a project where all these songs are from 4 or 5 years ago. Luckily, this producer is good enough. He has the spare laptop and he was able to get me all the stems. But 9 out of 10 of these kids are not going to have a laptop from 10 years ago, which is not backed up. And also, those are like the real world situations. Sometimes it's just stuff that's like out of, whatever, and it doesn't happen.
Sure.
Sometimes the artist specifically and the producer is like, we're just gonna 2-track this, and like there's a lot of these Atlanta people that will like specify that that's what they want to do, and then when they come to me with that at this point, in the past I'd not fight it, but now I'm like, I'm not gonna do it, and then the artist will be like, no, get him what he wants. The manager will be like, get him what he wants. So
Bro, the bar is so low.
There's actually a good reason. Me and Bainz found out about a really great reason why artists end up actually liking the 2-track, and it's this. when you get that over compressed, over slammed 2-track that the producer makes for the artist to record over, that track, because it's had very little dynamics, it's got a certain pocket that the vocals go with, right? And then when you get the stems and it's punching hard, you almost fuck with how the pocket,
The
and
rhythm
that's what Bainz
changes
and
a
I
bit.
learned.
Bro,
The
also
pocket
the
was
fact that it's
different.
an MP3, the fact that it's MP3, when you record over it with like a 251 or a C800, you're sitting right on top of that beat. When you get the
Right.
stem, now you're sitting in the song. And a lot of
Exactly.
times you're like, bro, I
The
can't
way
hear
they-
myself the same.
That could be one thing, but also like a certain synth could be compressed in a certain way that has a certain groove, and that when you open it up and it doesn't hit, it's
Right.
not slammed against something. Some
Right.
like when they were writing, they might have picked up onto that one melody, and that's how they wrote it. So every time they hear the
Right.
demo now 500 times, they've got that reference, and then they don't know how to fucking explain to you that that's what it is, and that's what we
Right.
had to figure out by like doing all this shit.
We figured it out though. It was
Usually,
it was
it's always when it's a really bad tracking engineer that has done really bad things in the tracking process to fuck up the rough.
100%.
Every time.
What you can do, because what I started doing is I didn't want to use the 2-track still. So what I do, I just started over compressing and overdoing all the stuff that I would normally do to
Right.
get closer to the 2-track. Even though in my mind, I'm like, that's wrong. I would rather hit it harder, but I know that I'm not getting approved. That's the other thing is like, if you're not getting
Right.
approved, doesn't matter if your decisions are right or wrong. You're not getting
Give them what they want.
That's what
Exactly.
we have to learn.
So I'll go one layer deeper with this in that one of my main skill sets for Kanye West and others has been sample recreation. And a lot of times it happens because somebody sampled something and they may even have the sample stem, but they have absolutely no idea what they sampled, what the source is, and they can't get it cleared. So they'll send it to me and have me recreate it from scratch like a mirror.
Yeah.
And that's happened a lot of times where they're like, and there have been times where I spent 30 minutes sleuthing and found the original source and they just never bothered.
I was just gonna say,
So, haha.
Teezio, remember we spoke about this years ago? You know, every label has that one guy that can just listen to any song and be like, that samples from
Yeah.
there, that samples from that.
Oh God.
That's
So-
crazy. Like
so-
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So with
So,
Psych,
but
I feel
but right
walking
now, I want to go to I want to give us all like a 2-minute breather, and I want to go to this segment on Ron Waymeyer, the Cincinnati organ man. I just did a session at his spot 2 weeks ago. Absolute magic. That place is incredible. So you guys take a breather, don't log off, and we'll see everybody back in 2 minutes.
So show them your feelings, show them your light. We're all kings and queens. We're all kings and queens. Let's stand up and fight.
All right, we are back, guys. I hope you guys go back and rewatch that segment. It's such a cool thing. And if
Sure.
anybody ever needs the most incredible one-of-one pipe organ for a project, call me. I might be able to help you with that.
For sure.
You never know. Let's see. We talked about favorite series. Anything any of you guys have been wanting to chat about?
Teezio got
Before-
like 20 things lined up.
Nah, I'm lined up. Hold on, let's touch some subjects and see how I feel about them.
Go ahead, Bob.
Real quick, before we get too far away from what we were talking about, producers need to learn to back up and not have a hard drive backup next to the original. Have a cloud backup. So if your house burns down or you get robbed, you still have the project. Because I'm waiting on an album that was supposed to start a month ago, and we can't do it because the guy got robbed and lost his hard drive. So
Oh,
I
wow.
might even
What
lose
do you
the
use
whole
for
album.
cloud storage?
I just use Dropbox. I just let it sit in there forever, you know, because I can access it on my phone app. I can send it to anybody while I'm at dinner, whatever, you know.
I think I use Backblaze and Time Machine.
Backblaze is cool too.
I got like 7 stages of it.
Yeah,
I
I
got
don't,
Producers,
I don't really
they don't
want to
back
talk
up.
about. I don't really want to talk about any of the ones I use because some kid is gonna try to start hacking them.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's not
Yeah.
Dropbox. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, producers just refuse to back up. One quick little funny story was in the studio with well, I won't say, but the artist, someone had the producer had the album on the MPC. It was not tracked into Pro Tools yet. The maid came into Brandon's way, unplugged the MPC to plug in the vacuum. Entire album gone. But we had two track roughs of it. And so for 3 days we had to recreate the album sound by sound. Like, I think that patch had a little more chorus on it. Wait, yep, that's it. Okay, no, that's not the right figure.
Oh,
had to
that's my
crazy.
personal
Entire
hell.
That's like a movie where like he shows the maid
Exactly.
unplugging it and it's like everything's gone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was exactly that.
Crazy.
They just don't care. I think I don't even see producers with hard drives sometimes. They just have everything on
It's
the
just
laptop.
on their laptop. So if they
I was
lose the
like, bro.
laptop, their whole catalog.
And another
is
thing
gone.
too is people need to stop leaving shit in the car. Why in your life would you ever leave
Yeah.
anything in the car? I don't leave anything in the car.
You know how many times I've heard, man, I can't get you those times. The police got that laptop.
Exactly.
Oh wow!
Bro.
Oh, I like the one I got twice already. Is the producer's in jail, so we have to use the 2-track. That's my favorite one.
That happened to us on that album. I remember we were like,
Oh yeah. But it happened to me recently too. There's like found it, bro. He's in jail, and I was like, how much time is he doing? He's like, way more than on the album.
Just drop it in 2050.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's the only time I really was like, well, look, I'm not gonna get mad because what am I gonna? The guy's already in jail. Like, I can't get mad at the guy. Like, fuck, bro, he's already cooked.
Already bad.
Man, that's awful. So a lot of our viewers are audio program students. And I'm wondering if any of you guys have any sage advice for this very, very difficult industry that these kids are about to be trying to enter.
Find Doc Brown and go back 35 years and then get into the industry.
Oh, would that I could. It was fun back then.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to answer, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't even know where to
sure.
start.
I mean, for me, I know that there is still a lot of validity in getting in at the bottom rung of a top tier studio and outworking everybody else, having a better attitude than everybody else, staying focused, getting allies, keeping your fucking mouth shut and helping the people that you want to train you and doing whatever it takes to survive and grow there, and you'll probably be the next guy there. And so many people are like, well, how do I get major label credits? Well, if you don't put yourself in the jet stream, it's not going to come to you. So you got to go to it. That's how I do it.
I say be multifaceted as well. Like, if your focus is engineering, that's great, but once you get a little breathing room, like, learn other stuff as well. Like be more valuable to any client, whatever you can do, whether it's like a little bit of video editing, a little bit of programming, play an instrument. Like, I feel like that stuff helps you mixing anyways, if you want to do mixing, but just be musical. That's what we're doing. We're doing music. So be more musical in some way, don't do the bare minimum.
I'll push that even further. That's kind of what comes to my mind is that I think you need to find a way. Unfortunately, it's becoming increasingly more obvious that you need to find a way to kind of feed yourself outside of music and you have an idea for something else entirely that could fund everything that you want to do in music, I would say not to shy away from that, because my whole life has been about music, but I've chased after other, this is the second company that I founded, and it's funding everything that I can do around music now. And I think with AI, and to Bob's point, like constantly trying to learn even outside of music, turn that into a way to make some money so that you can say no to certain clients and say, no, I'm not going to do that mix for whatever low ball offer that is. You could, that power to say no, I think, is in your hands, and you have to figure out what that means in your life. I don't know what that is, but figure that out, I would say.
I think a lot of it is also like reverse engineering. Like that's a true art. And by that I mean, if you find somebody you admire, where are they? Where do they work? Who do they work with? And try to put yourself in that pool. Like all of us either live or have worked in big cities. Like that, it just is what it is. And maybe now with the internet, there's more opportunities, but there's a reason why LA is LA. There's a reason why New York is New York. There's a reason why Atlanta is Atlanta. And I don't know if I'd be in the same position if I lived in Oklahoma. So that's not to say just up and move, but it's something to consider if you're trying to get in the game.
It's a much harder climb.
Yeah.
And it's a hard climb already. It's a really, really fucking hard climb. So to saddle yourself with more.
Yeah, it's for me, I feel like the way I was able to do it in my early 20s, I'm 35 now, but when I finished working, I started working for Juicy J when I was 18, and it was just the right moment. He needed someone new because he had fired his other engineer, and I came in at the right moment. But after that, you would think, oh, he worked with Juicy J, and this is at the height, right? He had won the Oscar in 2006. I got with him in 2008. But for me, it was essentially once I left Juicy and I was essentially working with independents in LA, it was just eat, shit, live, breathe, piss, Pro Tools, or whatever software, you would use as in this field. But it was just that every single day. I'd wake up and it's like, yo, are you guys having a writing session today? What time is it at 2? Okay, cool. All right, bet. And then boom, book another one for 10. And it was just like my life was devoted to anything and everything that was working. Because guess what? I had no money to do anything else. I wasn't going on vacation. I wasn't going out to take girls out to dinners like we do now at this level. It's like you just only do that and submerge yourself in that, and opportunities will come. And to be honest, the biggest opportunities come from the smallest, dumbest things. That's what I've learned in my experience, is that some of the greatest opportunities that I've had have come from things where you might overlook it on a normal day.
That's a
And
great point.
caught you on that day and you did it, and that led to you meeting, like, for example, like one of the things, there was this Ava Max thing that I mixed recently, her first record from the album. And from that, I had just done it. I didn't know. I was just like, whatever. And from that, I got this massive project from this other producer. And it actually made me and the producer connect to a level where he's like, bro, I need you mixing all of my shit from now on. And so me doing this one record for one artist led to this relationship that I actually wanted for a long time, because I've known about this producer and I was actually able to lock in, and we're like, bro, we have the same hearing. Like, let's just work on every record together. And that wouldn't have been possible from one, so it always leads to that. And that's why I took every opportunity. I never said no. Unless I was in a session, I was never going to say no to anything. 2 a.m, I'll be there. Right.
Yeah.
Like you're
sounds
just
like you're sounds like me 1000%.
Exactly. That's the only way to make it in this business. This business is so hard because there are no rules. There is no HR department. There is no, oh, you'll get in trouble if you do that. I've seen people get beat up in the studio, like the engineer and the artist, and no one says anything. No one can do anything because there's no fucking, it's the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
So you will get fucked over. You will get discredited. You won't get paid. That's part of the experience. To this day, sometimes I'm chasing money. It's like, it's never going to stop. It's just going to get better for you, but it'll never stop. But guess what? We get to live lives that would have taken, a doctor spent 13, 14 years learning to be a doctor. I spent 10 years, 13 years learning to be a mixing engineer in the process of recording and a mixing engineer, So it's
also finding someone that you look up to, or that's doing well, that you can attach yourself to and make yourself invaluable to them, the way Ken did with Kanye, the way Teezio has done with Chris, Prizzie, where you are with Tricky, because that's gonna, and everyone else as well, that's gonna lead to other stuff, like kind of the way I'm with Thug. Thug, is when I started working with him, he ran a label, he owned a label, so all his other artists, I was mixing their shit by default, and then now all of his friends, like the Lil Babies, the Futures, and all, like they'd see me with him, so they want to work with me. Like it just kind of trickled that way, and like the same way with you and Tricky, you've gotten a lot of shit through that, and Teezio working with Chris and all that, and producers like that, it kind of leads to other stuff. So I think it's easier said than done. But if you find someone, and you can, like how Ken said, if you work at a big studio, you can become that person, work harder than everyone, make yourself invaluable, and opportunities will arise from that.
Mm.
I feel like this whole thing is like a trust fall. Like this whole, like imagine building a career off a phone call you never even received yet. Imagine saying, I'm going to move here. I'm going to get this house, this apartment. I'm going to commit myself to these bills and all this other shit off of a phone call that I don't know if I'll ever receive. Like you got to have a lot of faith to be in this type of business.
The
Dude,
delusion.
people, that
That is
goes
kind
with
of that's
Now that I look-
crazy to think of it. Like I've never thought of it like that, bro.
Take exit 40 onto Sahara.
Sorry, I'm traveling.
That's highlight.
I feel like we were all delusional. Like if I looked at my past self of 22, I'd be like, bro, you're delusional. Like
Yeah,
you're just
it's
like,
kinda
you don't know.
psychotic.
I'd be like, you don't know what you're doing tomorrow. Like what? He's like, I don't fucking know. I'll just
But
call
yeah.
someone and see if
But
there's a
Chris,
writing session tomorrow.
Bro, that's
Exactly.
crazy because I can point it down to the one phone call that changed my life after moving to LA. It was, I didn't know that phone call come. It came 2 years after I fucking worked there. I was still doing pretty good, but the one call, yo, can you fill in for me tonight with Thug?
Mm-hmm.
Changed my life.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the industry is so fragile. I literally have been mixing and people talking behind me, managers and A&Rs, and I've heard writers and producers lose $30,000 gigs that they didn't even know they were about to have. Like, let's use so and so. Okay, I'll call him. No, second thought, let's not use him.
Oh wow! Just playing with people's lives right there.
That's how it is, and that's why relationships matter, because you don't even have to be good. You just have to be liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
have to be good enough.
you have to be
Good
good
enough
enough. I
and
mean, I would
liked.
say all of us are relatively there. It's just like who likes who and who has a relationship with who is what it comes down to at this level.
Yeah.
Right. And none of them really intersect. Like Bainz has his world. I have my world. Ken has his world. Prizzie really has his world in Atlanta. So it's like our shit doesn't really intersect because it's big enough for all of us.
And
You know
when
what
it
I mean?
does, it's great. We work on stuff.
And yeah, we
together.
work. Me and Bainz work
Yeah.
together all the time. Like it's not. I feel like Ken, you'd be the one to be able to speak on this the most. But like back in the day, engineers used to beef, right? Like back in the prior to 2012, maybe 2009. Like
It was not about. It was very cutthroat.
not beef, but like you guys wouldn't be like hanging out and shit. Like I feel like everyone kind of had no one wanted to give secrets. It was kind of more.
They were definitely the guys that wanted to keep their secrets, but I've felt like for the most part, I got to see my friends when I would work at like Hit Factory or Electric Lady or a multi-room quad or something like that, where there was other rooms going on. My first question to my assistant was, "Who else is in the building tonight?" And that was the only time I got to see my friends.
Right.
For me, like the old school experience for me was fucking great. Actually, talking about reconnecting, I hadn't worked with Kanye over like a 2-year stretch. I just hadn't heard from him, and it was out of sight, out of mind. Both of us were at Sony Studios on 54th one night, and I asked my assistant, I was like, "Who's in the building?" And he's like, "I'm not supposed to say, but I know you work with him." I'm like, "Who is it?" "So Kanye?" And he's like, I'm like, "What room?" He's like, he told me, so I just go up and I knock and I reconnect with Kanye, and every single day for the next 3 weeks, he has me fucking like no sleep. And it's just,
You walked right into that one.
Exactly.
you just, I mean,
Set yourself
amen. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. 2 years without a Kanye credit, and then out of the blue, I'm just like racking them up 3 weeks in a row of like catch up. So, the relationship building and staying in touch with the people that you want to be working with, which I've always been complete shit at, definitely matters. But yeah, the old school, I love the old school vibe.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, I used
That
to
was the
see
thing.
the competition. Like you'd walk into a control room when an engineer has left, and you'd see tape over settings and pieces of paper hiding settings and stuff like that. I feel like
Really? I've never seen that.
I did, yeah. Teezio nailed it though on the year 2012 because I feel like Pensado's Place is what changed that. And then
Yeah,
we all started sharing. We all started to get curious about each other's process. And
yeah.
so I feel like 2012 was a big year where that changed in a big way.
Bro, shout out to Dave,
Pensado's.
man. Like, I think he
Yeah.
changed the whole landscape. Like
He
before,
did.
like when I
100%.
came up, like looking at Tricky and Jason and all them, like it just felt like it was gonna be musical chairs. Like, all right, these are my opponents. All right, fuck all of them. Like, it's war. And I mean, I guess is that from a competitive standpoint, but bro, we've all been in those situations to where, like, Teezio, remember a couple of years ago, I think I was working with, what was it, Ryan? I was working with somebody, and you hit me,
That
and you was
one
like,
guy
"Yo,
that we had both mixed.
yeah," and you're like, "Yo, what the? They gave me the album." I'm like, "Well, I'm sitting here with him right now. He just gave me the album." But
Yeah,
we can have this conversation. It's
yeah,
like,
because we didn't care because it's obviously not you. That's the thing is we have a sense of community. Like all of us are friends, and to be honest, if you that's why we all last. To be honest, because like for example, the other day, this guy's like, "Yo, want to do this thing, with this album, but we have a feature, and that feature is someone that Bainz works with." So I was like, "Hey, on this song, I have to co-mix it with Bainz." I told them up front, knowing that this artist only works with Bainz, because I wasn't gonna sit there and be like, "Yeah, I'll do it." I'm like, this is my friend's client, so we're gonna mix it together, but don't worry, we'll figure out the rate together. And it's like as long as we're always honest and upfront, and it's happened before. I've called other engineers and been like, "Hey, I know you mix this, but they just sent it to me." So, and then usually if you're upfront, no one's gonna
It's
get
happened.
mad.
It happened to both of us, and we literally call each other. We're like, "Dude, they sent this to me. They sent this to me," and we're both like, "Cool." Like it's literally happened to like the two of us.
100%. But because we call each other and we're honest upfront about it, that there's no reason to get mad. Now, the problem is if time goes by and then someone finds out and you're not the one that told them, then they could feel like, damn, that's the person I work with. Like, why would you do that? But if you're upfront about it, and that's how people have called me, I'm like, bro, just do it. Like, thank you for calling me, but just go ahead and do it because me inserting myself is just gonna, look tacky at
And
the end of the
and
day.
it just makes it awkward. Like, it ain't that deep.
it turns
It's
out
not
so
that
much
deep.
better though. Like every time I've done a record, if like Chris is featured on it, I'm gonna call him. Same thing with if like there's a Trav or a Don on it, I'm gonna call Derek, even though it's featured and it's not our ass. I'm like, their sound better than like I would like anytime someone mixes Thug, they do hit me up. Like even right now, Jess was mixing a project but because Thug was on it. He called me and he was like, "Yo, you handle the vocals and I'll do
Right.
everything." So
Because that shows humility,
we
right?
have
Like,
that camaraderie.
of course, I can mix the artist that Bainz mixes as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the point. The point is the humility of saying, "Hey, I could do it, or I can get it sounding the way I know he wants it to sound if I just let the guy that does it do it." And that's a way of being, giving it with humility. Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of people think that's happened to me
It's
too.
ego.
There was a
It-
feature that Chris was
Facts.
on, and the engineer took it upon himself because the artist had an acapella to work with. He took it upon himself to just mix the vocal himself and not tell anyone. And then the song is like, we're dropping it. And I'm like, I never got the vocals to mix them. The engineer just taking it upon themselves to do it themselves. And I'm like, that's some sketchy shit.
And to go one step further, I remember when that happened, Chris didn't like the mix and complained about it. So there you go.
Exactly. So then I had to mix the vocals and we had
Yeah.
to replace them. So it was just like, but that person, me and Bainz know, acts out of ego, and they've always have.
I think the best takeaway from all of this is if you're always doing good business, then you never have to worry about doing good business, and you always spot bad business when it's coming your way. And like for me, I remember the first several years that I worked with Kanye West, he had no idea that I was a mix engineer, and I thought he knew. And one day I'm at Ray Track 509. Recording strings for Mariah Carey, and then we mixed that night in that gigantic ass control room. And Kanye kept hitting me because I was supposed to be at home working on the Blueprint 2 for him. And finally I call him back and he's like, "Yo, where you at?" And I'm like, "I'm at 509. What are you doing?" I'm mixing Mariah Carey. "What do you mean you're mixing Mariah Carey?" "Well, I'm a mix engineer and I'm mixing Mariah Carey tonight." "What do you mean you're a mix engineer?" "Dude, you didn't know I was a mix engineer?" I never told him because Manny American was his mix engineer, and me and Manny were friends, and I would never try and poach Manny's work. So
Yeah.
he was just like, "What? You're a mix engineer? What have you mixed?" And I started rattling off my credits. He's like, "Oh shit." So I'd be respectful to your peers whenever you're in those situations.
Facts.
So let's see. Do we have any great questions from the community. WTL Mix Academy asks, hey guys, when you're dealing with background vocal layers, how are you dealing with phase coherence and low mid buildup and smearing? Basically, how do you mix background vocals? Because I don't, like, personally, I don't think about all of that stuff.
I don't either.
That all sounds like technical shit.
Yes.
And my brain is shut the fuck off when I mix.
Yeah.
And it is in complete creative, as close as I can get to flow state between me and that song.
Yeah.
And the simplest tools that get the best results, it's you build your house, the fader balances are 80% of the mix, everything else is polish.
Yeah, if you spot a problem, address the problem. Like, don't add a
Yeah.
problem to a problem.
I just think it's
That's
not
it.
that serious to think of this stuff
Exactly.
as so technical. I think, for example, if you're saying, okay, low end smear, whatever. Okay, so it looks like I just need to reduce some of the low end on the background vocal bus, let's say. Maybe some mid lows, tuck them, but like I'm not thinking like coherency phase. Like I'm not the hell no. Like I'm just
I don't-
thinking, like,
I don't think
how can I
people
carve this
realize-
out to fit?
Yeah, you got to get out the matrix. Like,
I don't think people
Here's a
realize-
pro tip. If you auto-tune everything too tight, it starts becoming more mono. So you might have 16 or 24 tracks of backing vocals, but if everything is super tight auto-tuned, it starts pulling in the stereo field a bit. And if you leave them unauto-tuned, if they're close enough, the backgrounds don't have to be in perfect tune. If they're close enough to your ear, let them be a little loose, and that will make everything sound bigger and richer.
Same thing with vocal line. Too much vocal
Yes,
line.
1000%.
Vocal line. If
Yeah, I
there's
was
an
gonna say,
issue,
I don't think anyone uses that anymore.
I don't use it anymore. No, it just does too
Yeah.
much. Another thing too
Yeah.
that you can do when you're in a situation like
Yeah.
Ken
I'd say
described with it.
the only technical approach I have to background vocals every time is the breaths and the de-essing. It's like, other than that,
Mhm.
it's like, you
Yeah,
just gotta.
Yeah.
yeah, if it's like a
Annoying
phase
answer.
thing,
When
like,
the S's don't line up, that's when it sounds messy.
yeah.
Look,
exactly.
I'll cut all the S's off the 45 stacks of backgrounds and leave the leads.
Just
S.
leave the lead one. Like,
and
the,
call
you
it
just
a
need
day.
to catch the word. Like, that's
Yeah,
it. You don't
because
need 45 S's slapping you
There's
in
a
the
bunch,
face.
and they're all different frequencies because of the way they were hitting the mic. You know what I mean? It's just
Right,
like
exactly.
you just cut them out. I literally will just ignore them because
Exactly.
the leads S and H and whatever is gonna
Yeah, yeah.
dominate. You want that to be the clearest.
Facts.
And there's been times where I don't like the S on the lead, and I'll find a background S that I like better and
And
swap
copy that out. Yep.
and just copy that up and then mute them the rest of them. And like it's just like at the end of the day, it's just not that serious. It's just mixed with your heart.
I'll use
Right.
Applesoft, the split
I like that
S,
one too, yeah.
instead of having to cut
Split
them
S is
out.
great. Split
I
S.
Yeah,
thought
you
he said
just-
applesauce.
Lower the S like 15 dB, same as cutting it out, but it'll save you some time, you know.
15
You-
dBs
you-
is a lot. I'd be doing.
15 dB is crazy.
You guys think that one works
Just
better than
mute
the
it.
Weiss?
They're different, Bainz. This
Yeah.
is physically lowering the volume of the S and darkening and lightening the character. The Weiss is just the de-esser we use. It's almost something that you would use in tandem. You know when
Yeah.
you get vocals that are over compressed and the S is like louder than the vocal.
Yeah.
So this split S works great for that because maybe the S's aren't harsh, but they're just loud. And so
Fun
this will allow
fact-
you to just every time there's an S, it'll bring it down by whatever 4 dBs. You know what I mean?
You could do it in Melodyne too.
Oh yeah, Melodyne is really good for that stuff.
It
Well,
literally
that's
just
good too,
highlights
yeah.
the S's and you could just
Have you
Yeah.
scroll
guys
them down.
used what's it called? Dynassist and
Voice
Yeah,
voice assist or vote.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard like some engineers that like MSM told me, he said he really fucks with it. He said it's changed his life. So I haven't been like, it hasn't worked for me yet. So
You
I'm
know
kind of-
why? I think we have to buy it because it's at the bottom, but I
they,
can't.
They sent it to me. I hit them up. They sent me everything. I
Oh,
have
I'm
everything.
hitting Rob. All right, you know what?
Yeah, I can't
What is
get it.
this?
So basically,
Dynassist
so
or
it's
vocal
basically
assist?
they've called it's an ARA plugin built in. So it kind of uses the same ARA technology where it looks at the whole waveform and you can kind of manually ride vocal levels, de-essing, compression, all without actually with it's doing it like automating it. And it's doing it in real time. Like you just throw the fucking thing in,
I
like
see.
kind of how Melodyne works ARA. Like when ARA first came out, I was like, I can't wait to see all the cool new shit that it does because it's basically like, you can have isotope built in now. You can have all these things like just built in. Like I use clip effects a lot, but that bottom row is like I'm interested to see what they do with that and what other cool shit you could do with plugins.
Spectral layers is cool too.
I figured out why we need so many de-essers these days. And Ken, you can tell us if this is true because you come from more of the HDX era, more than like these days everyone's using native. But when you record vocals on an HDX rig, there's almost most of the time, I'm going to say the S's are not a massive issue because of the way that it captures it, right? And so that's what I realized because Chris, when he records on an HDX unit, I sometimes forget to even put a de-esser because I'm like, there wasn't really any need for one. And anytime he records on a native system, like it could be a carbon, but a native system, not HDX, the S's are out of control. And then that goes
Really?
across the board.
I
for
mean,
when
it's technically
I didn't know that.
higher fidelity, right?
Wait, have you
I've
noticed
heard
that,
that
Ken? When
before.
you on HDX S's are,
I mean,
Bob, you would probably know that on an HDX.
well, I only work on HDX.
Okay, so yeah, so do you, I mean, well, you don't necessarily record it on there. I'm talking about when they record the vocal like at the session through the HDX, you almost have way less of a need for a de-esser.
Also, another thing that makes a big difference is cabling.
I
Wait,
mean,
wait,
cabling
wait,
can be a
wait,
thing,
wait,
but
wait,
most
wait,
people use
wait,
Magami.
No. Think about it. Every old studio, okay, you have at least 50 feet of cable running to the patch bay, another 50 feet running here, there, under this. There's a lot of cabling. As
Yeah.
opposed to someone attaching a mic through an
Yeah.
XLR, through an Apollo, which is what 9 out of 10 people are doing.
Yeah.
You're using one XLR, like all of that cabling, like running through the patch bay, running under the studio, running to the.
Yeah. You're gonna lose some high frequency fidelity with like those longer cables.
Right, but in a
probably.
good way because I'm
Yeah,
telling you
exactly.
right
I mean,
now,
that's what tape does. That's what everything does.
these
Yeah.
S's are unbearable. They're harsh and thin,
Facts.
and when you try to get rid of them, you almost get rid of too much, and it just becomes like a balance of how much of an idiot do I want to look like with all these S's in here.
Facts.
Sorry, like I clip effects, and then I have five.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I clip effects every
at
S.
some point I commit it because I have to commit the auto tune. So now I'm doing another level of clip effects over the clip effects. I've already done it, everything, and only
Facts.
that's like okay, now I'm fitting it.
Clipping.
Yeah,
Bro, Bob, we need you to stamp that HDX sounds different than regular Pro Tools. You
Yeah,
got
I
to set
need
the
you
internet
guys
on fire.
I need you guys to stamp it that when you record a vocal through an HDX rig and you record a vocal through a native rig like a Apollo or whatever, the S's are different, and it's because of the way it what's it called, captures the high end. It's something about the capture. I'm telling you now because when I was Chris would only ever in his life record on HDX until we had to get a new rig. And when we got that new rig, the S's were out of control, and nothing else changed in the rig except the interface and the computer.
I'll have to test that one myself. I'm actually on HD native, so it is PCIe Digilink interface, but it's still native. So I got to do all kinds of tests now that I heard this one.
You could
But
call Jess Jackson. He'll list out a fucking list of
Jess
reasons
will
why
tell
it's
you this
better.
because I had this conversation with
Yeah,
Jess
I know,
already,
I'm
and
telling you.
that's the reason why he only mixes on HDX because his capture back. So he goes out, semi mix or whatever. His capture back, he's like, bro, it sounds
Also
recapture.
there's something to be said about those fucking that lineup of those fucking things that were built like tanks, from the 192s to the HDIOs. They were built like fucking tanks, and now when they went to the matrices and the newer one, yes, there's higher fidelity and shit, but that the converters on that old one, and I have the Black Lion modded one. I'm never
Can't get rid of it.
The
It's
classic.
insane.
Classic.
It's insane.
Hey guys, I'm going into my hotel parking garage, so if I lose you, I'll try to log back on when I get to the room. But thanks for having me. If I don't,
Dude,
Word.
drop gems tonight, Bob. Thanks, man. Great to see you.
Thanks, Bob.
Brother dropped the mic and dipped.
He just,
So I'm gonna leave it there.
I think I'm still here. But thank
He's
you.
going to the casino, baby. He ain't coming back.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. Let me take 2 seconds and shout out the giveaway winners. We gave away a bunch of stuff tonight. Ainsley Salmons won 1 year NFR of Session Studio. Session Studio is the software that me and Coburn use to keep our like songwriting and mixing and whole project going. Wezen Brito won the AL1. Thank you, Wezen. I think we're still gonna give away one more AL1 before the night is up. Andre won the Pass to Mixnick. Jade Roovers won the Session Studio 1 year. Steven Ramos won a Pass to Mixnick. And we are giving away the last Natural Audio AL1 at 9:50 at the 10 minutes to the hour. We might be wrapped by then. And if the people that won the Mixnick tickets aren't going to use them, let us know and we'll put them back out to the Mixing Night community and see who else wants to go. I heard I didn't go to Mixnick last year. I'm going to be there this year doing clinics. But I heard last year was really great, and
We're all
I
gonna
heard.
be there.
Oh
Whole
yeah,
gang's
oh
gonna
that's
be there,
great,
bro.
man. I'm
And
really
Bainz are
looking
going,
forward
and
to it.
Prizzie's gonna be there.
Oh
No
yeah.
shit.
what the
Oh,
hell?
I'm finessing
all
them
of
to
it's gonna
come
be
to Atlanta.
fucking
All of it's gonna be-
I
lit.
finessed everybody into coming to
Buddy,
Atlanta.
Jesse Reyes hit me this
Oh.
morning and he was like, "What gym do you work out in Atlanta?" We all will be there.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Damn, that's gonna be fun.
Hey, do y'all play golf?
Okay.
Y'all
No,
play
but I
golf?
can start.
We can no. Well, you have clubs because I'm not gonna bring my clubs. But we could definitely go play.
We're going to Atlanta. We should shoot some guns.
Oh, we should shoot guns. Yeah,
If you want to shoot guns, come out to Texas.
I'm in Ohio.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
normal.
You gotta
I'm from
come out here for
Chicago.
guns.
Nah, we could at least do one of the two. I'm trash at golf, but we could try.
We have to do. All right, how about we do a jiu-jitsu day?
Yes.
Everyone
I'm
down
with
for
that
that?
too.
All right.
Fun fact: Andrew is like a pro MMA fighter, so
Nice.
you could fight one of them
no,
first.
go ahead and crack the AL1. See what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Cracked in the motherfucking head.
Anybody who got a support issue, hit Andrew.
Andrew's hand's gonna come out of the computer like,
Exactly. You can
come
put in
on,
a
bro,
Kimura.
stop playing with him.
Nah, Nathan handles support for a reason.
Like a therapy session. I was able to get out a lot of the frustrations and gems that were just accumulating inside of me. I
Sitting
feel
there.
better. It's like a good rest.
Grinding your gears.
Nice.
That's funny.
So, did anybody go to Mixnick last year?
Yeah, I was there.
What
I
were
was
some of
not.
the highlights of it?
The highlights was us talking
Just
and
community?
yeah, talking some stuff. Leslie was there, Guru, obviously Wayne, Jeff on the boards, he was there, my brother. Man, it's gonna be even bigger and better. And we're gonna throw an after party.
Okay.
Andrew kind of knows about this, but now he really knows about it now because I just said it's about to happen. We're throwing an after party. Whole squad gonna be there. We're gonna have whatever people are into, plus tacos. And yeah, bro.
We gotta have the tacos.
It's gonna be a vibe. You gotta have a
The
taco.
tacos are fire, by the way. We threw one. Was that last year?
Yeah, it was like November or October.
Oh yeah, tacos were fire.
Yeah. So anybody in the chat, pull up.
And also, Prizzie and me about to set one up in Miami soon, so we're working out the details.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's gonna
shit.
be even crazier in
Okay.
Miami. Yeah, world tour.
It's the world tour, baby.
Very cool.
Sure.
I might get to go back to France in June. I'm talking about it now with them. I do like 1 week master classes in Toulouse, France.
Well, I'm literally going to Milan too. We when are you going to be out there? I'm going to Milan and then I'm doing Paris in July.
Oh shit. I'm not sure yet. We're not sure if we're going to do it online or in person. And I'm like, no, really, I would love to be in France in June.
Yeah.
Sounds absolutely lovely.
If you're there, let me know.
Dude, all right. That'd be
Right,
fun.
that boy Teezio's on a private jet.
Dude,
Catch
I'll
football
hop
on the
over to
Concorde.
Paris in a second. I fucking love Paris, man.
I'm about
Yeah.
to be.
I'm about to head on a Game of Thrones tour. I'm going to Croatia in 10 days, next week.
Oh
That's
shit.
fire.
Where have like some of the favorite places you guys have ever been?
The south of France was definitely up there.
I'm going to retire in Italy easily.
Ibiza.
I've never been there yet.
Ibiza.
I lived in Santa Barbara before moving to Texas, and that's a place that's just really. I mean, you guys aren't too far from it, Teezio and Bainz. It's a beautiful
No.
place.
At this point, with the amount of time I'm spending in Miami, I'll just say LA. I love LA.
I love LA
Yeah,
too.
right.
LA is a super green city. I mean, all things considered, there is just vegetation everywhere, which is really
Dude,
nice.
where are you? You're like close to New York, but not New York.
No, I'm in back hometown Cincinnati, Ohio, like Hamilton, Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, cool.
So, yeah, and fuck, I spent like 29 years in New York City, never won a Grammy, 8 times a bridesmaid, came back to Cincinnati, I've won 2 fucking Grammys since I've been home in 4 years.
It's the
Like,
good time.
fuck. I know, I was like, I should have done this 10 years ago. The cost of living in Ohio is nothing.
That's what I was just gonna
So,
say. You're probably living it up over there.
dude, oh my
Yeah.
God,
Got a
we
compound.
tripled our fucking space
Yeah,
and cut
no.
our taxes in half. It's nuts.
It's
The
insane.
cost of living, if you're on the coast grinding it out, you just have no idea how cheap the inside of the country is in some places.
Yes.
Although it's getting a lot more expensive quickly, as everywhere is. But for me, travel, I'd say South Africa was mind blowing. Being on safari,
Oh,
Yeesh.
that was really life changing. And but like favorite cities: Paris, Barcelona, Prague. Fucking love Europe. Hope I get to go back soon.
Yeah, I've been going to
Yes,
Paris
sir.
quite a bit recently. I've been liking it. Plus, I love working at that studio out there.
What studio you work on?
It's
Oh,
Rue Boyer. It's the Mix with the Masters studio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a really cool spot.
yeah. I think that studio, like, it just evokes a feeling because of the way they have it designed. It feels like a studio that you would have in Paris. Like everything is so
It feels like if Soho House did a studio.
exactly. It's like like you go in there and you're just like, I'll live here and I don't want to leave this place ever again.
It's a
It-
vibe. It's
It
literally like
evokes
Soho House did a
it
studio.
evokes a very similar feeling, but more Parisian, like old of like Jungle City. You know how Jungle Cities, you're just like, bro, I'll live here. I love it here. The assistant's making me hot cocoa. I'm having the time of my life. It's snowing outside.
You said
That's
hot
what I
cocoa.
get, but it like Parisian style at Mix with the Masters. It's so good.
Nice. Man, that's fantastic. All right, what else we got?
What about dope studios? What are y'all's favorite studios to work out of?
Most of them
My
are
own
gone
now.
now.
Huh? Yeah, Prizzie, I gotta come there because everyone says that's the best studio in Atlanta now.
Which one?
Your spot. It's Sessions, right?
Oh, that's tricky spot.
But oh, you're not there. I thought you were there.
Yeah,
Where are
I
you?
pull up from time to time. I'm at my studio.
Is that the
In
best
my room.
studio? Is the best studio in Atlanta your studio?
My room, bro. Pull up.
All right. So I'm gonna-
Yeah.
Pull up, man. Say
Wait, dude,
less.
are you you're not in that same studio building that Brian was in, right?
Oh no, that was a few years ago. That was actually pre-COVID. But
Yep.
yeah, Atlanta's small, man. Like I'll be everywhere. You know how it goes.
Yeah. I'd say I've been at Hit Factory for the past Criteria, I guess, for the past year and a half now. It's
How
cool.
was it? I never worked there.
So we're like,
It's like the Paramount of LA.
yeah, it's exactly. It's a lot of rooms, and there's no other studio that can facilitate that. That can facilitate a session with us in one room, Future in the next room, Lil Baby in one room, and the A room is still available for like J. Cole will come book it, and then they all work together. Like there's no studio that has that kind of infrastructure, a parking lot that big, a gate that big, that once Rolling Loud is over, half the festival ends up at the studio, like that kind of shit. There's no
Yeah.
but speakers, the Aspergers have been fixed, but I hate NS stands and I hate Genelecs, and Aspergers I can deal with, but they're just too loud and painful. So speakers wise, I just don't like the old studio setup. I like smaller spaces to mix in. I like being like near
Hey,
fields. I
man.
can't mix on mains. I like tight, smaller spaces. I just realized that just works better for me.
Facts.
Yeah, those studios are unlistenable. I would never, ever work in any of those studios. They're like miniature clubs, basically.
Exactly.
That's all they are.
I mean,
There's
you go
no
there to
like
you go there to track. I would never mix there, but
for
that
sure. But
yeah.
I'm saying when
Yeah.
someone thinks
I
of
mean,
a
I
studio
have.
with a
I've definitely
console,
have. I've mixed
yeah,
mixed
because you've
albums
had
like
to.
that. Yeah.
Right, but when you look at that place, you would think, oh, you can record, you can mix because there's a console. It's like,
But
fuck no,
yeah.
this is a club and people stand on the couches here. Okay?
But
Don't
like
handle
Ken,
the
to your
fuck
point,
out of this.
every night I'd go there and I'd be like, what other sessions are on? And they'd tell me, and a lot of times they'd be like, oh, J. Cole's there, oh, I know Kuldeep, his engineer, oh, Fareed's in the other room, or this person's in the other room. So we definitely do a lot of that. Like, and I
This
do
is great.
I love that. I love like, oh, we're all on our break. We could smoke a joint outside, or I'm coming for my session at 10 p.m. and Fareed's leaving from his session. And, like we'll talk, or I'm leaving at 10 a.m. the next day when they're getting there to set up. It's like, uh, that's what I like about it because there's no other studios big enough, and the staff is great. They're very hospitable. Like 3 of my fucking suitcases are still lying there
Oh,
for the past year.
Man, I haven't
damn.
worked out of Criteria in ages, but I got to work out of there for a couple weeks fucking 20 years ago. in Studio C with the Layla piano, the Eric Clapton Layla piano. You sit down and play Layla at that piano, and it is Layla. Though no other piano sounds like that on planet Earth. It's
I
shocking.
I didn't know Layla was done there until I was in the game room one day and I saw the plaque and I was like, oh my! First of all, the plaques in that building are like all of them vintage. I've never seen plaques, and they look like the cassettes and those things. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple other studios that I have loved working out of over the years. There's this insane studio in Brussels called ICP that is like their gear department is like a living museum. You just wouldn't believe the rows and rows and rows of the most esoteric, incredible, and expected shit on planet Earth, and all of it is available for your sessions. And they've got 3 or 4 rooms, and a couple of them are good for mixing, most of them are tracking, but that's a wild spot. But old New York rooms. What was your favorite old New York room, Vane?
I didn't
Or did
work.
you just work out of your own spot mostly?
No, I worked I worked everywhere. I worked at Germano a bunch. I worked at what was Blast Off that got sold. They were down the block from Quad. It was an old studio that took over. I did a lot of work over there. We did like Drake, Cuddy, all the early shit. Like Thank Me Later was done there. And then I moved to my spot, and then I would work at Engine Room, which is another newer studio downtown.
Downtown?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
exactly.
my room at Engine Room
Yeah,
in
which is
the
crazy, yeah, because
last room.
we didn't know each other back then, but he had a room down there.
I
And
had a room in there,
I
and I was always beefing with everyone because I'm from LA, right? So I would smoke everywhere. I was with this guy who he was my mentor, and he worked at BMG, and he had an office. So when you walk in the engine room on the right, there's like glass offices. He had rented an office plus the back room, and I was broke back then. I was living in New York with like literally $200 in my pocket at a time, but I was still able to buy weed and like buy little bullshit sandwiches from the Reid. What's it called? The Walter Reed?
Dwayne Reid.
Well,
Right, yeah,
Dwayne
Dwayne Reed.
Reed, yeah.
And so like I was always smoking and shit, and they were like they fucking hated me there because
Engine room,
they
they were assholes because they're ace. If you smoked in one room, it would get into the other room.
a
So the
hundred
owner would
percent.
come and be like, "Who's smoking in here? Who's smoking?"
But I'm from LA. We smoke everywhere. So like, and we had the office, and we were paying so much in rent. We were paying like at least $10,000 a month to have the back room plus the front office room.
Wow.
So it was like I wasn't paying it. It was like my mentor guy, his name's Venus Brown. He was like paying for everything, but like I would literally not have any money. I'd call him and be like, I don't have any money. He's like, all right, here's $200 or here's $300. Like he was just because he was having me work on all these projects, and he kind of just guided me and throughout my whole like process until I was able to move back to LA. But New York, like that engine, and then I moved to Quad. Do you remember a Quad when there was the kitchen and then there's the little dustpan room?
Janitor room.
So that room, the guy Venus that I'm talking about, he paid them to basically make it into a mini studio, and it's like a tiny room now. And I basically lived out of that room. I would put the couches together and sleep in there, and I would use the gym to shower across the street. And it was like those were the grind days, bro. New York was so gritty, and from being from a person from LA where I hate walking, I hate riding the train, I want my car. It was misery. I moved right back to LA. I was like, I'm never gonna do this again.
We've been at Manhattan Beach recently, but I hate their speakers. They've got like the Griffiths that were like Griffins that were like popular in New York for a while. Like KMA had them back in the day. It was the what's that studio designer's name? France something. He was like a popular designer, and he had these speakers that you put on all these studios, and they're like, don't get too loud, and they're ribbon tweetered mains.
Oh yeah.
It was just weird. I don't know. I just didn't like them.
Is that the one that looks like a cave inside, like a wood, no, like a wood lodge?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
3 or 4 rooms in a line.
I hate that. It's like so dark and dismal in there.
No. It's not that dark. I think you're thinking of
When I
something.
was there, I was like, it's dark and there's no
Oh,
windows.
I went to this I went to a few crazy studios in Brooklyn. There's one called it's like the church or something. It's basically like a massive live room with the console inside. It looks really cool.
I almost booked that a couple months ago. I know that was a
Yeah,
cool spot.
it was a really really nice looking spot. I think I was there during like one of the AES parties a few years ago.
Mm. Yeah. I was listening back to some of my old mixes from back in the day. One of my first gold records was 702, the song called Finding My Way, just an album cut, but the album went gold. And we did it at Record Plant. and all analog and on an old vintage Neve. But one of the most amazing things to me at the time was the service at Record Plant.
Right.
Like,
They were known for that.
incredible.
It's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Chris
and
Dennis and who else came from Record Plant, Teezio? All those guys, they're insane guys.
I don't know, but Ed Cherney's wife, Rose, was the manager of the place, and you just felt so welcome the moment that you walked in, and the vibe and the end results really reflected that. I mean, one day we had been eating such good food from all these nice restaurants, the producer just wanted McDonald's one time, and so they brought in McDonald's on a fancy cart with beautiful plates, with fine silverware and cloth napkins, and they had it covered with the thing, and they undid the special for it. And I'm like, God damn, that's the best McDonald's I've ever had in my entire life. It was just,
baby, presentation.
it was just like there was no judgment from them. They were like, hey, if this is what you want, let's fucking go. So yeah, that taught me a lot early on about, it's a client business.
We just spent a week. They were definitely, out of all of them in LA, they had the best client services. And when we were there, the studio manager was a good friend of mine too, and she would definitely say that too. That was their thing.
Well, Conway's crazy too with the service. They have this thing where when the assistant pulls up with the food, they pull in the gate and they immediately pull their car right up to where the studios are at. They get out of the car, they run to the kitchen, they plate it, and they bring it right to the room. And then they go back to their car and they take it to the back of the parking lot and they park it. And I was outside smoking one time and I was like, touche.
Dude, just for the record, Moritz, you can scan a code in the room and on your phone do some shit, and the waiter brings you an espresso.
I like that. It's very Moritz of him to have espresso on tap like that.
Speaking of coffee, I got to give Fab DuPont a shout out at Flux. He does have the fucking best coffee in New York City. That motherfucker.
Dude, his room is amazing, and
I love his
parties are crazy.
His parties are a blast. His studios are great. I got to track. Actually, I'm musical partners with a fucking phenomenal Indian artist named Anushka Sen, and we did some tracking out of Flux like a year and a half ago, and it was great. I did a choir there last year.
Which room did you work in? The room with the Neve or his room?
The old Neve room I did the choir production in, nice. And the vocal production I did downstairs in a pretty, it was just a microphone. Great mic
done those rooms too. I think Stuart White had one of those rooms downstairs for many years too.
He's great. Love that guy.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Yeah, I just saw Stuart at NAMM, and I saw you, Bainz, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's the first time I'd ever been to NAMM in my life.
That's the one.
That's crazy.
That's the one time of the year we pop out.
And then I had to fly home a day early and miss Saturday because the fucking blizzard,
weather, the storm. Or whatever.
Yeah, but I beat it by 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
So my assistants were trapped in LA for several days. Trapped, those poor guys.
Exactly.
I think they were happy.
Did I see you at the Grammys? Was that last year or the year before when you won?
It was the Taylor Swift year for Midnights. And then I didn't go to the Grammys the year that Hell's Kitchen won because of all the wildfires, and I just figured.
That year was it wasn't. It was a pretty low key situation last year.
Yeah, but yeah, best concert you ever see. I don't know. The new format kind of sucks for being in the.
Being there.
What's that?
It's like being there.
Yeah, it was like the camera's always in your way, and you can tell everything is for the TV audience, which it didn't used to be that way. It used to be kind of a concert for the stadium, and then they would broadcast that live. And it wouldn't come across as well live, or it wouldn't come across as well on TV, but live it was fucking incredible. And now it's completely flipped. Not completely. It's still amazing performances, but
they don't let you in and out.
Yeah, but you can't get you have
to. I missed Fast Car.
Yeah, that was annoying.
That was bullshit. And the after party sucked.
Well, you're never supposed to go to the Grammys after party ever. You're supposed to go to some label.
They used to be fun. They used to be fun. They used to be really amazing. And what they're doing now is like, it just feels like being at a club that's too loud and too crowded, and there's no escaping it.
Right.
And it used to be like a Cirque du Soleil. Used to be amazing. And yeah. And like I don't know, they probably still pull talent, but I mean, I've seen like Big and Rich and the B-52s and Paul Oakenfold and like Black Eyed Peas all have played the Grammy After Party. It's like they really pull some talent. Miguel's played it.
I think the year we were there, Neo was doing it.
Yeah, it was awful. It
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is this even? I mean, no offense to Neo, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's the Grammys. You tell me somebody else.
It's 2024, 2025. You know, not 2002.
No, that was that. Yeah. So, I mean, it probably looks great on TV though. Let's see. Any other topics anybody else wants to cover? I think we're pretty much wrapped. So,
Got anything else in the Q&A?
What's your favorite?
one second, we have the final winner of the last Natural Audio AL1 limiter is Corey Walker. Congratulations, Corey Walker. You get to use the same thing we do. That's fucking good. Who was gonna say what about plugins?
Hey, he's back.
Bob's back.
I'm coming back in just to say goodbye.
That boy showed up in the spear. Where you at?
I'm at the Fountain Blue.
Oh, word.
Are you in Vegas?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I told you he was going to the casino. I didn't even make that up.
That's epic.
Fire.
That's great. How was the drive through the desert?
I'm surprised I have reception. That's like pretty good for Verizon.
Well, they claim to have full coverage, so I guess
I guess they're not.
well done. That's funny. I don't like any of those questions. Let's see. Anything else you want to chat about, Bob? What's been on your mind? We could well, sure. We could close with health stuff. I'm going through it a little bit. I have surgery next week, but it should be one and done, and I'll be fine on the other end of it. But I have found most engineers don't take care of themselves until shit goes really, really south. And I would profess to you, and I'm sure everybody would agree, that if you eat right and you sleep as much as you can, your results are going to be better. You're much more creative with 6 or 7 hours of sleep than you are with 2. And
we know Bainz is going to be okay. We got him.
Huh?
Dude, you got ripped, dude.
Let's start calling you Bainz.
I started doing the little kettlebells, so I'm trying to catch up.
There you go, man. There you go. It's the I mean, the hours and all catches up, but what really catches up is just sitting in a chair for a long time. So I'm trying to undo that damage. I'm trying to undo that damage.
Facts.
Yeah, I have a app on my watch that just alerts me if I've been sitting for an hour, and it's like, hey, buddy, stand up. And I just like, oh, shit, okay. And stand up and you walk around for a while, you get the blood working, maybe you do some squats or something.
I kind of use that as like, that's like a good like ear break thing. So that same 1 hour reminder, like I'm like, oh shit, I've been sitting for an hour. It's a good time to take a ear break. And then I'll just walk around. I'll do pull-ups. I'll do body weight squats. I do whatever I can. And then I make it to the gym every single day, no matter how many hours I'm at the studio. That's a non-negotiable. It's kind of crazy. Today, I left the studio this morning and I was like, I didn't want to go to the gym, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to go. And then I kind of went into a depression spiral. I was like, if I don't do legs today, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. And then what if I never go to the gym again? And I thought I would never go again. And I was like, I'm just going to fucking just gonna do it. And I fucking crushed it. So I was like, okay, cool. And
my dog is my gym every day. She demands a walk, and we have hills in my neighborhood. It's 1.5 miles up and down hills at pace.
There you go.
Woo.
Love
I
it.
never thought walking would be like so effective. I always wrote it off, but man, it's fantastic.
Gotta get
Mhm.
10,000 steps.
It's great. I
Uh,
actually have a walking pad at my desk that I work at.
That's
I just
amazing.
stand up and walk and like create plugins all day long.
I've been trying to do that at the studio, but like the speakers moving up and it's a whole thing.
I
Like,
know.
it's like
I
too
know.
much of an investment.
I wish my like
Yeah.
mastering rig could do that too, but I just don't see how that would be
A
possible.
lot, yeah, a lot of people have set it up. Colin has it. Dave, sorry, what's his name? Fuck, Becker.
Dale?
Dale
Yeah.
Becker
Dale
has
Becker's
Dale
standing,
has it for
yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you do is, I realize because you can't always stand. There's a lot of time when you're like really focused. You do need to sit
Yeah.
sometimes. So you just get those high chairs. But
Mhm.
also, depending on the room you're in, I think Prizzie, you told me this. The speakers sound different at different heights, so that changes with the
Oh,
room.
they
Yeah.
do.
When
Because
you have
there's
low
room
ceilings.
modes at different
Yeah.
levels. There's
Yeah.
your room modes are at different levels of the.
You would have to
It
have your
100%
ceiling
changes
go
it.
up as well.
Yeah.
That'll really fuck it up. But yeah, it'll change everything.
Sounds affordable.
Yeah.
How do you guys dial in your speakers? Do you use Trinoff or like I
Oh,
have
man.
IK Arc Studios on mine. They sound great and they're cheap.
I just bought I have the Strauss SEMF4s. There's the speakers. They're relatively unknown, but they're starting to become popular. But they have an EQ. It's an analog EQ for room correction. It has 18 bands on each channel, and you have to use a little screwdriver to dial it in, and you do room
Sounds
sweeps.
like the old days.
Yeah, you do room sweeps. So then when you're done with it, you just put the lid on. You can't touch it. You can't mess it up at all. I just tuned my room with it. So I got rid of the Trinoff, but that's what I'm using right now. It sounds amazing.
Dope.
I have Tony Terrebonne. So if you guys find him online, thank me later.
He's great. He's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I had Alan Sides come and tune my Ocean Ways, and then the PMC guys came and did the PMCs. And I've since then messed around with EQ a bit, and I keep changing shit, and then I realized that putting it back to flat works the best in my room.
Yeah, I had
Thanks.
PMC did mine, and then I've made some small alterations. I brought back some of the low end because I realized I'd get to the car and there would be too much low end.
Can
So
we
I
can we
realized
talk
I
about
didn't
the
have
one
enough.
weird thing you have set up, which always blows my fucking mind that he is at the fucking level of success that he is. His fucking his speakers, the left side is louder than the right side. And whenever I sit down, it throws me off so much. Like I just can't work like that. And explain this, dude.
Because my hearing on
Your
the left,
hearing?
I had ear infections when I was little. So there's a volume difference. It's like a dB and a half.
Yeah.
So it just makes it so that the image is corrected for me.
Smart.
Oh,
Which
wow.
is
And it
which
just
is
it just
which
works.
is wild. It's wild, dude. Like it's really hard for me to sit and listen to shit that he's got settings where you can switch it right away.
I switch it back to normal if someone else sits there.
Yeah.
But it just if the image is perfect for me, then that's all I need. I don't care if it's fucking doesn't matter as long as I'm hearing it in the correct way.
Yeah. I think I heard that in your room too.
Because the panning is still in the middle. Like if the vocal's in the middle, I hear
Yeah,
it.
it's relative to you. It's relative
Exactly,
to
yeah.
your
Which is just crazy how you've like learned to like work that way, which is it just blows my mind.
You know what it also came from? As a recording engineer, you got to sit at those fucking little bays with the console on your left.
Yeah, even
Yep.
The
everyone has-
NS10's right
Little
here.
sidecar. Yeah.
And that shit will fuck you up if you're sitting there. You know, you got the volume. No, you don't have it loud, but you have it for a while. Just and the vocals
Right.
always loud for the artist to be able to hear themselves.
It's trash when the
Yeah.
producer's sitting next to you and they crank it up. Like, bro, it's not
Exactly.
funny.
Day after week after month after year, that shit
That
adds
shit will
up.
kill you, bro.
And it is more comfortable to sit sideways like that when you're recording than it is to sit on the console because shit gets in the way. Those plastic covers that go over the faders.
Mhm.
It's not as comfortable as just having a little like cart.
Yeah.
But you're sideways. So it's like you fucked.
Thug's always like turn it up, and then the room doesn't go as loud, so they have to turn the limiter up, and then accidentally, you know, with other limiters, I would be hidden, but ever since I started using the AL1, it's right there, and he realized that that's the knob, so I'd like gradually go do it, and he'll grab the mouse and turn it all the way, and I'm like,
100 dB.
I mean,
And then for the AL1 commercial, he looks up at you and he's like, "No low end degradation." Wow, Bainz.
Man, anytime I got trapped in a situation where I was one ear to the speakers, I had a fucking earplug in.
That's what
I
you learn
had,
to do is you learn
Makes
to have
sense.
yeah.
a. You know what's
We
funny?
have earplugs, AirPods. We have the fucking what's that shit called? We used
The
to have
drum. So
for shooting.
the drum covers.
Yeah,
Oh
thank
yeah,
you.
The funniest
I,
shit was this. When I didn't have covers or something, I would just grab a pair of headphones, put them on my ears, then just stick the cable in my pocket.
Yeah.
And
that's great.
someone in the session, it was so loud, they come up to me like, "Do you have the headphones on so you could hear it louder?" And I was like, "You're retarded."
I put AirPods in my ear. You have to turn the transparent, the all of the modes off, the noise cancellation off, because it fucks the loud shit. will fuck
Blows the
it.
fucking thing
Yeah,
out.
exactly. And then you put the headphones on top of the air, so you have like double protection.
double
Jesus.
insulation.
Can you guys hear me?
Crazy. Yep.
So Teezio, I had the exact same thing as a kid, ear infections on the left side, and I have the exact same experience with my speakers, except I don't adjust it; I just deal with it, and I
Oh,
do
really?
I do okay. But yeah,
But my
exact same
brain
thing.
is so symmetrical that if something's hanging like this, my brain is just like I can't work. So it has to be symmetrical
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
But if you just
My
deal
right ear just listens over there, like it's just trying to compensate, I guess.
So
Like
that hard panning might be crazy.
you don't need to do it anymore because cars are better. But back in the day, I used to do this with car stereos. I used to pan it to the right a little bit because you're sitting on the left, and it would kind of balance out.
Also, you can hear it in the center. Yeah.
Yeah, it would move the image, and it's pretty like it depends on what like the
Yeah.
Tesla. I don't need to do it anymore because
Yeah.
it works. But if you like with the older cars, you could. I remember having to do that.
Yeah, but
Also,
that most work with
speakers,
cars.
like the Aspergers I used to use, and now the Dutches, they're a little more forgiving with the stereo image and hearing what I need to without feeling like it's right heavy. But like if
Yeah.
I listen to like Gentle X, I feel like I gotta crank the left up.
Jeez.
Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
life
no.
though. Doesn't affect the mixes though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we're a little bit past 10. So we should probably start bringing this to a close. But man, this has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, this was. I was therapy. I gotta talk to my
Yeah.
therapist.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, it's always like, all of us are in this little bubble, and then when we talk amongst ourselves, the shared experience, that we all think is just happening to us is just shocking. And not only that, but the shared like work methods that we develop on our own that, when we're talking about, we're like, oh, I do that shit too. And, it's just amazing. Like, the things that come about in these. But thank you to all of the panelists, Andrew, Bob, Bainz, Preston, and Teezio. It's been a fucking great show. Thank you for all your contributions. Anybody got any final words before we sign off? Nope. All right. Thank you very
Drink more water.
much.
Thanks for
And
having us.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it, Ken.
Truly my pleasure. Congrats to all the winners. We will be reaching out to you to make sure that you get your prizes. Again, if you're not going to use your Mixnick passes, please give them back to the community, and I will make sure somebody in the community that uses them will get them, because Mixnick this year is going to be lit. And on that note, it's been Mixing Night, Pro Mixer Night. We will see you back on June 3rd. Take care. Good night.